do that have never been done before.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route to do. We the people are free. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited.
Well, g'day, folks. It's a big day all around Australia. And as you can, well, you will soon be able to tell at least, a lot of people rolling out, especially in Melbourne at the moment. Brisbane, the Botanic Gardens on Alice Street at midday. Adelaide in Rundle Park. The Supreme Court Gardens in Perth. The Civic Park in Darwin, and in Cairns, Freedom Park, that's north of the Muddy Cafe. And, of course, the big one in Sydney at Hyde Park. But access at the moment is proving difficult to get. I'm finding a few feeds popping up here and there. One I can always rely on is Darren Bergwerf, who is in Melbourne and doing his thing. Oh, I'm trying to make this as big as possible. He is in Melbourne and getting ready to speak at the stage there. Darren, I was watching a feed earlier from Australian Auditors, I think it was, a couple of hours ago. People were already there lining up, getting ready to go. So looks like the crowd's grown, and so have the police numbers.
Yeah, at the moment, mate, it's the crowd's actually not that big. They've probably got more police here than people at the moment, but they've made it really restrictive to get in here. You've basically got to do a lap of the city to come in from one direction. You can't get over the barricades anymore. So, and I've heard there's a problem with the trains as well. So, but you know, like I was showing you with the original shot, there, that blue flag there. Not that this is about flags, but this is what we're here for today, is when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. And that's the message that we're trying to get out to people. This is not about politics anymore. It's not about policy. It's not about race, religion, or flags. It's about concentrating all of our attention and efforts on the source of all of the issues that we all face. And that is the corrupt, foreign occupying criminal government. And I think Craig's just I think Craig's nearly finished with his sound check, mate.
Like he can only count to 2.
Yeah, he's finished. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I heard Sydney, they're pulling down people's stages up there. Is that correct?
Actually, I can show you a little bit of what's going on in Sydney at the moment. In fact, it started at 2 o'clock this morning or thereabouts. I hope you can hear this. I'll bring this up.
Technically, it can't be done. Just listen to me. So the powers that we're going to use, right? So I'm lawfully directing you to dismantle this. Okay, what's the time now? Someone have time? How much time would it take you to dismantle it?
One life.
We are offering to dismantle and move it right there.
No, you're
an hour.
It and go. Okay.
No, well we can't because it obstructs public access, as in pedestrian access tomorrow, because we've got 55,000 people, right? And it's going to be danger for the people that are here to have destruction. Okay. It poses safety concerns. Hence why your form wasn't approved, your form 1 wasn't approved. Okay.
Anyway, the upshot was that at 2 o'clock this morning that that the stage or the scaffolding was stolen, if you listen to John, removed by council, if you listen to the police, and it only started there. It didn't end there by a long shot. As late as 9 o'clock this morning, they banned the generator from coming in. So that was going to make life pretty difficult with them. I think with their PA system, they needed a generator. And then John, of course, wanted to feed the people.
My authority.
You can ask the gentleman.
Excuse me. Excuse me, that's okay. All right. So where can we cook? Hang on. Where can we cook?
Don't start yelling and pointing your finger at me.
No, I'm asking the question.
Nice and calmly to you.
Don't tell me you're not going to talk to me. You will answer the court here. You're in my court here. My authority. Yes, you are.
Not coming into Hyde Park.
That's okay. We won't go in the park. We won't go in the park. Stay there.
Again, it's going to need a permit by council.
How about we cook on the truck or nothing like that? No. Then you need a mobile food permit, I guess. Is that right?
I'm not going to engage you. The barbecue is not coming in.
We've got food.
You'd like to go back up? If you'd like
tell
to go
me
back
that
up
we
to where
can't.
you said
So
it.
we're going to throw this food out.
I'm not telling you to throw the food out.
We're going to have to throw all of this food out. All of it.
It's a lot of hungry
So we've
people.
got hundreds of kilos of food. We've got people who need
I'm sure you'll
to
be able to
fed,
find somewhere to
and
donate it
you're
to, so the
gonna-
barbecue's
you're
not coming in here
instructing
today.
us to tell us to throw it out.
No, I'm not. I'm
It's as
telling
good
you
as.
the barbecue
It's as
can't
good
come in
as.
here today.
It's a good
If you'd
as.
like to go back up
It's
to
a
where
good
you are,
as.
sir, that'd be
It's a good
appreciated.
as.
You
Go
can continue
on.
your demonstration up
You
there.
want me to get out of your face, so to go and throw the food out. That's where
Well,
it's
Let's
Let's
get
going.
the water
We
out, John.
can't-
We'll get the waters out. Let's get the waters out. Let's set
Have
out
we
what
got
we
any
can.
water? Can we
Have
get
we
the
got
water?
waters? Of course we
You can take
can.
water in. I said you're
No
not
cooking.
erecting structures. You're not putting
Yeah,
a
no
barbecue
cooking,
in.
no
You wanna
fire.
take water?
Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, sorry, Darren. He may have dropped out there completely. I can't see him anymore. Where are you, Darren? Oh, I may have dropped him out. No, that's that video.
Authorised public
No.
assembly.
That's the other video. I may have kicked him out. Sad thing. Hope to get him back. Darren, call me back, call me back, call me back. So, yeah, you can get the idea of what's going on in Sydney. Now, not to say I'm terribly surprised at this juncture. However, going to be a lot of unhappy people. And I think, well, John has been sharing videos.
Wilson, national spokesman for the Freedom Union here in Australia, and today is Saturday, the 13th of September. Well, we're at Hyde Park, ladies and gentlemen, and what a clustered fuck this is. What a clustered fuck this is, ladies and gentlemen. We have been swarmed. There is hundreds of police down here at Hyde Park, and they have swarmed the Freedom Union, and they're trying to get us out of this park. We've had a district commander, a woman down here, telling us we can't set up our barbecues here, we can't put our these banners up anywhere. They came at 5 a.m. this morning, and they stole our scaffolding stage that we had prepared to set up. And so on. They're doing everything to wreck our participation in this protest, ladies and gentlemen. They tried to have me arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, the last time down at Speaker's Corner. Now they're back at it again. We're back at Hyde Park, and they want us out. And if we don't comply, the cops have made it clear they're going to arrest us. They're going to move in on us and arrest us. So, ladies and gentlemen, get down to Hyde Park. Get down to Hyde Park and support the Freedom Union. We're down here, we're doing it hard, and these people want us out.
Stage.
We've just been advised, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to see what's going down there. They've come and stolen our stage, our scaffolding. At 5 o'clock this morning, we had people here watching it, and they come and stole it. And but all the police here, all of them, they're all on orders to get the Freedom Union out of Hyde Park. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so that's pretty much sorted out what's going on there. Here's a name I haven't seen in a while, North. I don't know, you're turning up to gloat or what's going on here? Can't believe what they did to Commo John this morning. Sadly enough, I didn't know what they were going to do, but I suspected that the police were going to do something. And they've gone away and done it. Yep. This is Tony on the phone. I am going to need to call him back. He'll be asking me to send him a link, which I haven't done yet. So, Tony, I'll do that. Give me 2 shakes. Sort of waiting for Vince to come to life. Oh, I suppose I should send him the link as well. Send that. So away we go. Yeah, so North. Have I seen the difference in Melbourne? Well, Darren Bergwerf was just on and just starting to try and explain that, and we were rudely cut off, and it looks like he's having issues reconnecting because I've sent him a couple of texts, and either he's not reading them or he can't connect for some reason. It might not be unrealistic to think that the phone lines or the phone Wi-Fi areas might be a little curtailed around Melbourne at the moment. So Flinders Street is packed. Looked like they're struggling for numbers in the March for Australia at Parliament. Okay, well, certainly Parliament is where Darren is, and there is a lot of coppers there. Don't know where the other ones are. Does it sound like you're gloating? True that. All right. So we'll see. Zippy, you're going for a march in Perth. That's awesome stuff. I hope it's going well in Perth. And Perth will be 2 hours behind us. So that'll be about 2 o'clock this afternoon our time. Or are you marching earlier in Perth? I don't think I saw the time, but I'm pretty sure it's midday. If that's the case, we might throw you a link if you're at all interested, Zippy, and you can send us some video from there. I am looking for people. If you are interested, folks, send me an email, carl@vofhq.com. I'll put my email up on a link here, up on a screen here somewhere so I can see them come in. If you are at one of the marches and you'd like to turn your camera around and show us what you're seeing and hearing, we would love you to do that. So carl@vofhq.com, and I will email the link back to you. I can send it by text, but it just takes a while. I should have been better prepared, but Darren came in early, and I thought, oh, well, we better go now. I'm glad we got him when we did, because it seems like there is a bit of an issue getting out of town. So no 12 o'clock in Perth. All right. Thanks, Zippy. Yeah, well, if you can shoot me an email and you're interested, we'll keep going at 2 o'clock to show what sort of a turnout Perth gets. And I believe, fingers crossed, somebody from Darwin's going to be giving us a bit of a feed from there when it kicks off, which will be the same time Adelaide, I think, gets underway, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, but South Australia is obviously half an hour later. G'day, Anne. Well, I haven't really done anything at the moment. All I'm trying to do is keep a bit of an eye on what's going on where, and I'm just removing a couple of things here. And yeah, some of the vision that I am seeing is pretty encouraging from various different parts of the Melbourne area, I've got to say. It looks like a pretty good mob turning out. Certainly, it looks like Flinders Street is very alive. A lot of people there. And I'm suggesting that there'll be a march of some kind as they progress their way up to not Government House. What am I saying? Parliament House. So, yes, just interesting. So, a couple of these live feeds have stopped being live all of a sudden. That's a little weird, I've got to say. I'm wondering if there is some form of bit of a lag going on with Life, the Universe, and everything at the moment. Wouldn't that be interesting if we're seeing blockers being used? So it looks like, as of just a few minutes ago, a fairly substantial police officer, a superintendent or higher by the look of it, has lobbed.
This is Mr. Robson.
He's recording it.
Yeah.
As is everyone else.
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
You lodged the Form 1, did you, John?
Yes.
And do you remember if you mentioned anything about having a tent? On the Form 1, did you mention having a tent?
That's not a tent.
Well, did you mention any sort of infrastructure or gazebo?
That
Okay, if you want to call it
barbecues
gazebo.
go underneath it.
You just can't have the infrastructure, okay? All we want from you to do is collapse it down and just take it out of the park. That's all. We can take it down and we'll book it up at Day Street Police Station for you. Okay? And you can come and get it this afternoon, we can come back and get it tomorrow.
Where's our other equipment that you came down and took at 4 o'clock
We
this morning?
haven't taken any equipment. So what would you like to do? Do you want to take it down, you collapse it up yourselves and move it off site, or would you like we'll get some police and we'll do it?
Well,
we'll look it up?
we're contemplating putting it up properly and demanding that you leave it around, but we're still discussing that.
No, it's not going to happen.
I don't, well, you know,
I don't want conflict. I don't want conflict.
I don't want it either.
Yeah, I don't want any conflict with you. At the end of the day, have a think about it. It's got to come down. It's got to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. What about our barbecues?
No, well,
So we can't feed anyone.
You can feed it heaps of people. You just can't do it here. We can't accommodate that here with barbecue. We can't do that.
What about water?
Right. So the message still is the same by the sound of it. The Freedom Union is being blocked. They've not been able to put their stage up. That was, as John alluded to, not taken by police, I don't think, but taken by council at like 2 o'clock this morning when they were unloading it. They put it on the side of the road on a footpath and went away to park the truck and came back, and another truck had pulled up and the council was loading it up. So somebody was watching for it. That is, I don't know where. I believe that the Day Street Police Station is where anything else that was taken by police or council can be picked up, but I'm not exactly sure when it can be picked up. I'm not exactly sure they know when it can be picked up. So the Freedom Union barbecues will not be allowed inside Hyde Park. There'll be some council bylaw that says they're not allowed to set up on a footpath or set up on the back of the truck. So my guess is now, as John said in one of those videos, they're either going to have to throw out the couple of 100 kilos of food that they have, and I think one of them posted a picture of it last night. Don't know what I've done with it, but there is, a couple of 100 kilos of sausages and a number of loaves of bread. I'm sure there are plenty of very worthy missions in Sydney that would accept somebody turning up and saying, "Hey, listen, we'll be there at 5 o'clock for a barbecue. Call all your mates, call all your homeless organisations, tell everybody we're cooking 5,000 sausages." Or maybe you don't have to cook them all tonight. Maybe you donate them and stand at the head of the food line dishing them out for a couple of nights. I don't know. I'm just trying to wing it here. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Be ashamed to see that food go to waste. But it definitely seems like the police have taken the letter of the law, so to speak, and applied it. So if it wasn't, by the sound of it, this Form 1 is a very serious bit of kit. So they have taken the Form 1 at its word, and if it's not written on the Form 1 and says we are going to bring this, 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 and this, then by the look of it, the police are saying you can't have that, or that, and removing it. I still haven't been able to find out what John was threatened with arrest for. That's still unclear, but who knows? We will see. It's a bit of a sad development, I have to say. Sad on so many levels. Sad on so many levels. Just pardon me for one moment, folks, because I best take this call. All right, folks. So it's looking like we're all sort of jamming onto different feeds at the moment, and I'm just getting on to Joel's feed, or at least that's the plan. Find the right one. This is coming out of Melbourne right now.
Criminal voice of freedom. Sorry, what? Oh, very good. Yep.
There you go. My mic was muted. There you go. I'm talking away and you're not hearing a word. I'm just going to blow this up so you can see it. Wade Nordhausen there, obviously wonderful. I've just gone through telling you quietly that the reason the crowd may look a bit small around Parliament House in Melbourne is because there are blockades up by the police between Flinders Street and here. And the people are not finding it easy to get access through. The police have really, really slowed down the access to this end of town. And the other end, though, around the Flinders Street station, I believe it is absolutely cranking, so to speak. And thank you to North for letting me know a bit about that. Pity you're not sending me pictures, North. You know, you can always send video. Carl's mouth is moving. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, well, I think the problem is at the moment that police are restricting movement very strongly in Melbourne. In Sydney, by the look of it, Joel's still talking in studio there. He hasn't got any outside pictures coming. And here's the thing about Mick Sims. I don't know how to find Mick Sims and whether or not he's live streaming. I thought Guru was going to be live streaming today. But I can't see anything on his Facebook page. And I want to say, I'm not sure. Mick will probably have something going on, probably on his Instagram. And let's see whether or not there's anything streaming on Facebook. Doesn't look like it. So it might be on the Instagram. I'll have to go and try and find that. But I'll back out of this. I want to thank Tony, one of our great Voice of Freedom family members. He's supplying these pictures, the only ones at the moment that I can see. Oh, no, it looks like Joel may have got some back in Melbourne. But I'll let you go here with Tony for
I sorted your was here. Anything I'll say like this side of the whole area here is pretty cool. You can see the end of it. You step outside. Yep. Sorry, did you need me? Did you want to say anything to Carl? Sorry? Carl? Did you want to say anything to Carl? Is Carl watching? Yeah. I'm streaming you. Sorry, bud. Did you want to say anything to Carl? Is he there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. G'day, Carlos. I can't hear a bloody word you're saying, mate, but the crowd's starting to build up, so they've played shenanigans with the transport as usual, and but no, look, the numbers are starting to build, so it's pleasing. I can't hear a word.
I don't know if you can hear me, but good luck with it, brother. And they're fighting their way through. So I know the barricades are up and stopping them getting to you. So hopefully it'll all clean up soon. Craig Cole, of course, one of the organisers for the Melbourne event, and he'll speak very strongly today about the corruption in government. He's right up for it. Who else is floating around? Wade Nordhausen in the green shirt there, a legend of a human being. And he'll fight hard for regional Australians, but particularly the Victorians and the farmers and the hard job they're getting at the moment.
What's the audio like? It's too loud, or could you hear when Cole? We can't hear you, unfortunately. It's too noisy. So it's just, yeah, I told him that it was you on the. Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. I'll go up to him now. Hang on. I'll give you the phone. It's Carl. He said, if you want to say a few words.
Are you on Tony's phone?
Yeah, I'm live streaming.
Oh, right. Just we better get out of the way because I can't hear anything with this noise. Just come over here a second. Okay. Yeah, g'day, Carl. How are you, mate?
Great to see you there. You're a legend. You've had a very busy time, successful runs all around Victoria, Ballarat most recently. And thank you for coming out today and railing against the corruption that you and so many blokes like you in regional Australia are suffering at the moment. How's it looking?
Mate, there's not massive numbers here, but it's building. So there's a sea of flags and a sea of decent people here who are turning up to fight for our country. And this is absolutely urgent. What's happening to Australia is so serious. And we really need to push back everywhere as hard as we can because there is no tomorrow. There's still tomorrow right now. We know that the corruption and the illegality of our parliament is at a level now. Well, I mean, you only have to look around the countryside to see what's happening in other countries. So at the end of the day, we don't want that here. We want to try and fix that before we get to that, but we are at the last. This is our
Beautiful, mate. I'll let you go. I know you've got a speech to make very shortly and things are about to kick off. Hopefully they'll let the barricades down between you and Flinders Street and a few more people can get through to Parliament House.
Yeah, beautiful. That would be amazing. So there's a very, big police presence here.
I wasn't here last year, but I reckon there's a hell of a lot more coppers here than what there was. Anyway, let's just hope everything goes smoothly. And we all come together as Australians because our enemies are not amongst each other. Our enemies are the governments and the corrupt the crimes that are being committed by them and the terrorist organisation masters.
100%, mate. I'll let you go. Have a great one, and we'll talk again soon.
Good on you, Carl. Thanks very much, mate.
Cheers, mate. Wade Nordhausen, absolute legend of a man. And he's speaking today at Melbourne in front of Parliament House, and the rest of the boys will be there shortly. Tony's on this phone chat. Yeah, mate, thank you. You just keep filming and I'll keep talking. It's all good. All right, so that's Tony going. And as I said before, the audience there may look a bit thin on the ground, and that's because not just are there barricades up around the Melbourne CBD, they've had problems with the trains today. So the trains haven't been running from outer areas, which is a bit of a problem. And of course, they've blockaded everything around Flinders Street so that everybody's hanging out there. I'll let Tony's images take over from Melbourne again. I'm trying to try and sort out a couple of more pictures from a couple of different cities.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
Fair enough. Well,
Okay. Freedom. It's going. You want to say anything?
I do have to still watch myself.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
Might be quite comfortable, but
Yeah.
I'm here, so I'm probably going to come up anyway. This is what should be done to the welcome country.
That's it. Say it again.
This is what we should have sung instead of welcome the country, because this is who we are. We are Australians and we are one.
Fuck the government!
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Hey, hey, hey!
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Hey, hey, hey!
That is kind of British though. I think of a bloody Wilson version. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. That's how it's supposed to be.
London town, no matter how far or how wide, I still call Australia home. I'm always traveling alone, so I keep feeling something. Still someday we'll all back to the shore, I realize
It's not you, just the poster. Camera shot.
yeah.
It's going to be reversed, isn't it? Like, I hate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, just on 12 o'clock now. Absolute legends. Give yourself a big cheer. It's a bit out of tune, that one. We're going to fix that one up. It's just on 12 o'clock now. I understand that there's a few difficulties getting in here today. So what we'll do, as I said earlier, just to keep you informed, we'll just play a little bit more music, and then we'll kick off with the speeches in about half an hour from here. We've got a great speaker lineup, not only to inform you of things you may or may not already know, but also to give you some solutions that you can start implementing yourself. Because like Bernie, myself, or all the rest of the fantastic people up here, what is going to turn this country around is you. You have the power. It's all on your backs, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll guide you the best we can. And we'll keep sacrificing everything we have for the greater good. But it has to be the greater good first and ego second. That is the only way we are going to unite this country, because we must be united to defeat and overthrow this tyrannical government that does not care about you. Now, exactly. Do the government represent you in any way? Have you had enough? Wouldn't be my preference, sir, but anyway. So we'll get on with the speeches in about half an hour. Like I said, I know you guys are keen to hear, okay, but it gives you a great opportunity to mingle with people, okay, because we must start coming together as one. This country was built on the backs of many people that come from many nationalities. And I see you all here today. A lot of you are carrying that Australian flag. We'll get on to the real meaning later on. But this will be, like I said, the first and second step of many steps, because we are trying to achieve something in this country that we have never achieved before. So that is going to require every single one of us to do things that we've never done before. And I know many of you are. I know that. But it's time to slip it into second, third gear and then hit overdrive. Long, systemic, non-violent action is what's required. What's that? Well, thank you. I'm with you. Because, as I said, and I mean this is from the bottom of my heart, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Craig Cole. For the last 20 years in this community, I've delivered youth work to children who have been crippled by the disgusting system, which is the government and the bureaucracy. So that's what I've been fighting for, our children. And now for the last 5 years, I've been whacked from pillar to post, vilified, you name it, and I couldn't give a stuff. Just like you people. Because the ironic thing is the media, we know the fake news, but what do we think of the media? I think we can do better than that. What do we think of the media? Let me just read something out to you. No, thank you, sir. I'd rather stay celibate. No, sir. There's children here, sir. Okay. The fake news media, and let's keep calling them what they are. Where are they, by the way? Yeah. Now, this is their own corporate act. So when they breach their own act, why aren't they being charged? The Broadcasting Services Act 1992, it's a federal act. Section 123, Development of Codes of Practice. Section 2 of that section, preventing the broadcasting of programs that, item 1, simulate news or events in a way that misleads or alarms the audience. Do they breach that every day? Did they breach that with their garbage reporting of this event on Friday? Should they be charged? Well, the question is, why aren't they? So we'll play some more music now. Be back on with some speakers in about half an hour. Talk, mingle, get your chants going. I'll pump some music up to keep the vibes high, and then we'll get back on in about half an hour. Does that sound all right? Magnificent.
Now is the era where we have discourse, where we talk, because every time that we don't talk, like Charlie said, if you're in a marriage and you don't talk, you end in divorce. If you're in a business and you don't talk, you end up bankrupt. And if you're in a country where you don't talk, you end up like Israel and Palestine. And Australia has no entrenched hate. We are here for love of our country, love of each other, and we will walk peacefully. And please join us, because we are worth fighting for.
Mate, 100%. Mate, that guy is he was fired as a playwright in Melbourne during COVID, yeah.
Something I'll comment on quickly, you can see just here the Aboriginal flag is up the front. What I love is that no one has booed it, no one has removed it.
Yeah, literally, in the last rally.
Or in the last rally.
Literally.
Because the First Nations people do have their place in this country, 100%, and they deserve a voice in Australia Unite as well.
Guys, we've seen one Aboriginal flag. We've seen one, this whole stream across the nation, one Aboriginal flag. We saw more at the last rally. We saw more, like, you know what, they need it.
Anyone born in Australia is Aboriginal.
Here we go.
And we're off.
Yeah, we're off, guys. Got Chris. Chris has got the best shot at the moment. Rami's capturing the middle of the crowd. Good on you, Chris. Chris Govt, guys. You got to give him a follow. He's on every platform. He does a great job.
Great name too. On there, Chris.
I think he should change it to his own name, man. A lot of people are doing that. They're starting to change what they do to their own name.
Yeah.
So there is a drone, guys. There is a drone capturing all of this. So don't worry if you don't feel that this doesn't capture the size. We have a drone. There you go. Look at the peacemakers. God bless them. All right. Let me dive in here.
No more Jewish lobbies.
Gigi, tell us why you're here.
No more Jewish lobbies. Where's our Bill of Rights?
Everyday Australians are struggling, standing up for our country. This is all of ours.
See that? The people at the front of the rally that are like, this guy looks like his security.
Yeah, he does. I dare say there'd be people in the crowd that may have some security.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Yeah. Mate, it was a different tone to the last one. You had the guys in black at the front.
See, this is Australian. This is not. It doesn't look militant.
No.
It's very peaceful. It's very calm. And like they said, freedom and justice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chris is going for a trot. Where are we off to, Chris?
Yeah, we're running off. All right. Chris, I'm going to mute your one. God bless you. He's trying to get some good shots. This is Rami. He's on the front now.
I didn't expect it, I guess. Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too.
Okay.
Come on, Aussies. Let's go. Let's march. Come on, march. Part of the march. Where are you?
Oh, okay. Bigger than I thought. Wow. Yeah, a lot bigger than I thought. And it's still coming. I've seen this many Aussie flags in a while. Since we had our breakfast 2 weeks ago. All right.
He's not going 2020. He is a traitor. Will be a traitor. They have let down our servicemen and women. Why should they be sleeping on the streets? There's about 8,000 military veterans that are homeless in this country.
It's insane.
They used our police force against us. They fired bullets on the public in Victoria.
Someone from Melbourne just remarked to me that the riot police, the police in Melbourne are in riot gear, whereas in Sydney they're not. And I guess that's the story of Australia, guys. You have to preserve what we have. We really do. Oh, look at that. These lovely ladies inviting people to come and join.
I was actually going to touch on it before, Joel. You can see that most of the police are in normal attire, and then you do have a few special operation boys around there.
Signs. That signs. That's my touch point. That's all I know how to do. I know how to ask people about their signs. The real Australian skill shortage. Wrote them out. What does it mean to you?
What it means to me? It means that we don't really have a specific skill shortage in Australia, and I think that Australians would love to be working those jobs, but they're not being given the chance, and it's pissing me off.
What? Longer interviews, you don't always know what you're trying to say, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Park Street onto Park Street. Sorry, guys.
Not free.
This way. It should scare the shit out of you that your PM raises flag burning. Thank you very much. Thank you. Too much. Caravan of explosives. The caravan of explosives. But we need the hate speech laws even though it was bogus. Anything you want to say before I go on? It is live. Oh, good. Thank you. See ya.
Yeah.
Hey, William, how are you?
Not a peep. Oh, someone beautiful.
I still call Australia. Still call Australia. I still call Australia.
Taking their identifiers off the cameras, not their mics. No. Taking the identifiers off.
Protests like this are becoming a regular sight across Sydney.
The reason everybody is marching is because
our sisters failing, Albanese is failing.
Because every day Australians are struggling. They're suffering. Their health is in massive decline. 15% sudden all mortality deaths increase since the last couple of years. I wonder why that happened. People are sicker than turbo tumours, sicker than ever before. People are homeless. The homeless are suffering. People have no jobs, no income. What's the government doing? Increasing taxes, massive tax grabs. What's the government doing? Increasing jobs? No. They're just saying to people, nothing. What do they do? What do they say? They're saying nothing. This protest today is about everyday Australians with real struggles. And we demand change. And these people here are all willing to do whatever it takes to create that change that they need in their communities. Everyday Australians are absolutely struggling. And we're here to give a voice to those people, to share ideas, so that they can go back into their communities and work productively to create the lives for their families, for their communities that they so desperately want to contribute. Australia is massive.
Okay, how about now? That's louder. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen.
Abundance to grow, and we are willing to work
together. Once again, give this guys another big cheer for the legends in the line. And as I said earlier, so we're going to go through the speakers now. So thank you very much for being patient. One of the things we know. One final push, but one long, sustained push, and we will not relent, will we? No! It's going to take everything you have. I know a lot of you are tired. I know a lot of you have been campaigning. There's some people here that are just starting to be aware just recently, and bless you. And more and more and more are becoming aware all the time. So we have to dig deep from somewhere and get our second win and prepare yourself mentally to back up week after week after week. That's what's required. Because as I said earlier, we are attempting to achieve something in this country that has never been achieved before. So that requires all of us to do things we've never done before. And you all are, but there's more to do. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to our first speaker, who quite humbly, when I asked her, how would you like me to introduce her, she said, Craig, I'm just a mother and a grandmother.
Jackie Dundee.
There's no way you go here with Jackie Dundee. What she didn't, what I had to drag out of it was for the last 25 years, she's been campaigning on constitutional matters and high court case law as well too. So give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Jackie Dundee.
Thank you, Craig.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the Commonwealth, we are people of honour. We are people of conscience. We stand peacefully and we stand lawfully. Our power is our unity. I humbly show my respect to my forefathers, our forefathers, who sacrificed their lives for our freedoms. Now it is our duty to do the same for our children, to protect their inheritance and their freedoms. Now, humanity is under attack worldwide. Governments have been usurped, and we are seeing corporations running the world worldwide. They are masquerading as authorities. A plan on this scale that has been delivered with such stealth, timely precision, unleashed worldwide, systematically and systemically, implementing control, prohibitions and removing freedoms, all under the guise of safety, is that of a military-style operation. There is no doubt about it. We've got terror campaigns, fear-mongering narratives of misinformation and disinformation from mainstream media, reading government narratives. They are fabricating non-existent threats, nothing but lies, traumatising people and offering them a bioweapon as the solution. It was a bioweapon, it was not an experiment, I'm telling you that now. They knew what they were doing. Removal of freedom of speech, movement, right to bodily autonomy, inserting inference that parental decisions for our children are under their control is all well beyond and outside their scope of power. Gross intrusions into every aspect of our personal and private domain that only we control, not government. Our mind, our body, our spirit are free. That is absolute. God's or Creator is divine law. It is the highest law. The Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Imperial as proclaimed on the 1st of January 1900 under the Royal Coat of Arms is the supreme written law of this land. That's exactly why we're here. This is what they are scared of most, that people become aware. Our Constitution is our greatest defence. This is how we tackle what is going on. So, we have got the Constitution is a restraint on government. They are bound to it and must obey it. Amen. If they depart from the Constitution, they act without any lawful authority. And I hope anyone that's here from media makes sure that that is put out onto the news. They won't. Because that is something they are neglecting. They won't. Yep. Ultimate authority is enshrined in the people. The people are the Commonwealth. We are the beneficiaries and inheritors under the Constitution. In law, the people are the sovereign authority. And members of Parliament, ministers and even the High Court are servants and trustees under that sovereignty. That is enshrined in law. Now, governments have reconstituted themselves as a corporation. Unconstitutional, absent lawful authority. Actions of conspirators sabotaging our nation. That is what is going on. They are siphoning and transferring the wealth of the Commonwealth, our equity, to foreign interests. They are undermining and acting against the people. Instead of prosperity, they are bankrupting our nation. All by design. We have breaches of fiduciary duty, which is an automatic forfeiture. So government in its role as servant, agent, administrator and trustee of the Commonwealth. Equity and trust law is very clear. If a trustee steals from the trust, it is an automatic forfeiture of their role and allows for the beneficiaries to reclaim that trust. That being the people of the Commonwealth. We assert we are the supreme, absolute, irrevocable authority, and we, the people of the Commonwealth, now lawfully reclaim our inheritance. Crimes committed are fraud, theft, and treason. Crimes committed, mass murder, malfeasance, and terrorism. That is what this government is guilty of through their mainstream media hordes. This is our claim of right, people. The people of the Commonwealth are the Commonwealth. We must remedy our situation, and the only way to control the executive and the legislative branches are with judicial force. So I ask everybody, please, follow closely. Literally, all eyes must be focused on the courts and the cases that are in the courts. We demand justice not just be done, but be seen to be done. Now, we have got live constitutional matters that are ongoing and in the courts now that affect every Australian. There are people standing up for all Australians, so please get behind and support. Rod Culleton is doing a collateral attack on the Palmer versus WA matter, designed to fail. That is Section 92 pertaining to our freedoms. We've got Dr. Beverly Pearce. She is fighting to stop the state's ability to ever mandate vaccination, mRNA injection, bioweapons into the workplace. It is a clear-cut Section 109 inconsistency of laws. She is also challenging APRA, a statutory corporation who has removed her right to exercise her implied freedom of political communication, which we are doing here today under Sections 724 and 128 of the Constitution. That is a guarantee offered under our Constitution. Dr. Valerie Pearce, her sister, her twin sister, is fighting against imprisonment. So APRA and the Medical Board of Australia claiming she is a danger to the public for telling her patients the truth. She refused to follow the government narrative, which was gagging all doctors and all information on this poisonous mRNA gene-altering injection. So 40 cases to date, over 40 cases. Dr. Valerie Pearce, 80 years of age, has been in and out of the courts. We have seen nothing but bias, collusion, perversion of the courts of justice, and utter corruption in all the lower courts. So I think our police officers, we've got some trouble down here. I will say, anyone that causes any disruption, intimidation, violence, or aggression here, step back and film. They are not a part of this movement. We are here peacefully and lawfully. No violence, no aggression, no intimidation will be tolerated. We the people are people of honour and conscience, peacefully and lawfully. Now we have got private organisations such as the WHO, World Economic Forum, assuming authority where none exists. They have no authority, nor do they have any jurisdiction in this country. Yet we see WHO recommendations were obeyed and inserted into our legislation via the Biosecurity Act, a federal act. This in itself is showing that the government has obeyed a foreign power by inserting into our legislation the WHO recommendations. Now, this is also going to bring in a challenge to the treaty power under the external affairs power in the Constitution. Treaties can only be entered into by two or more independent nations. Treaties cannot be entered into with foreign corporations or organisations, rendering the WHO Treaty and others of this nature and those within our nation entered into by government invalid. Go and have a look at R.E. Young. Chief Justice Sadler clearly states treaties can only be entered into between two or more independent nations. This government is guilty of it. They have allegiance, obedience, and adherence to a foreign power. Section 44 of the Constitution, which therefore gives grounds for Section 44(2). They are attainted of treason. Solid grounds. This is our claim of right, people. The people of the Commonwealth are the Commonwealth.
Get him out!
Get him out! This rubbish has started. Sovereign citizen is a false term. There is no such thing. It is a corrupted distortion which has been created to mislead. It holds no lawful standing whatsoever. It has been weaponized to ridicule or silence lawful dissent. It is a derogatory label. Use of this term is for the purpose to discredit, ridicule, and delegitimize any lawful claim of the people who speak of constitution, sovereignty, or against government as fringe or unlawful. It is a false play of words, an oxymoron, and such inversion is nothing but corruption. It is null and void in law. Sovereignty rests in the people, as stated in the preamble and in sections like Section 24, directly chosen by the people. The people, we the people of the Commonwealth as a collective are the beneficiaries and inheritors, and this government is nothing but a servant, trustee and agent. They have forfeited their role. Now, last week, this is just shitting in our faces even more. Albanese's response to the Solomon Islands, rejection of an offer of protection. Albanese states, I respect the sovereignty of the Solomon Islands, but he doesn't respect the sovereignty of the Australian people. Seriously. They are destroying the people openly. This is what is going on. Mainstream media and our politicians, we should be calling them CEOs of a corporation, because that's all they are. They are.
That's why we're here, right? That's why I'm here. I don't know about you, but the Australia I see at the moment is the Australians are sicker than ever before. They're poorer.
Chris is just walking through. He's still working his way through people.
Going through the roof. The government putting their hand in your pocket and grabbing it, and inflation through the roof. Government control is out of control. And that's why we're here. Australians is a great country. Now, some people say, rallies, what do? Nothing. Well, I disagree. Rallies do three things. They make you see that you are not alone. Look around you. You're not alone.
You are not alone. You are not alone.
They help you connect. Human connection is so important. They help you connect, share ideas, hear other people's strategies, find out what's going on. You learn some stuff. Today we've got some fantastic speakers. And then finally they re-energize you, and that's what we have plenty of here today, energy. And we go back to our communities with that renewed energies, those ideas, those things that we know we can do. Now, look, not everybody has a superpower. Like, not everybody feels that they can do something. Well, I'm telling you, That's not true. Whoever told you you don't have a superpower, don't listen to them, they just want to control you. My superpower is paperwork and organisation. That's not glamorous, I know, right? I would have chosen something else, but I was blessed with this superpower, and that's what I contribute to create the changes in Australia that I'd like to see. So all I invite you to do here today is to enjoy yourself. That energy of joy is something that has been sadly missing in Australia for the last 5 years. Joy, optimism, take some ideas, meet some new friends, and go back into your communities and simply remind yourself you have a superpower, whatever that is, a smile, a willingness to lend a hand. Gosh, we all need a helping hand, and a listening ear. Go back, ask yourself, what is it that I care about in my community that I would like to see change? Who can I talk to do that? What do I need to know? And take that one choice, that one step. And you know the old cliche, the drop in the sea of change? It's a great cliche, but I know I'm a drip. Who else is a drip here? Okay, so let's all be those drips. We go back into our communities, just keep asking those questions. The questions they love to label us for. Keep asking those questions. Take my energy. Take all my energy.
All right.
Go back into your communities and choose.
After Mary Jane finishes speaking,
Because the choice you make today
we're going to go to other cities.
for Australia tomorrow.
We'll pause the speeches. Thank you, Mary Jane. All right, guys, there are going to be a lot more speeches in Sydney.
Of Sun Tzu. Folks, I think many of us that have gone down a deep dive know better than that. It was actually written by a general of the Jesuits under that name, once again, to conceal so there is no traceable source leading back to the order itself. The art of deception at its best, breaking down the sovereignty of the sovereign people of the land is the first primal bullet point in the art of war. Look it up. It's written. The art of war, to dismember, remove, and take away the sovereign peoples of the land's sovereignty. The world is a stage. Through MSN and every other platform, we are watching nothing but stage shows, psyops. All is in full swing now, and it is crucial we conduct ourselves peacefully and lawfully. Multiply that tenfold. It is crucial. United we stand, brothers and sisters, shoulder to shoulder, side by side, every colour, race, religion and creed, as humanity is being attacked worldwide. This is knowledge over chaos is how it should be. Knowledge over chaos. I'm coming to you, right? So we must wake up as many as possible to the gravity of our situation. Humanity is standing on the edge of its extinction. We are being poisoned from every direction, our land, our water, our food, everything. We have lost 80% of our insects. We are in crisis, people. So humanity as one, respectful of one another. We all walk the earth. We are all made from the same dirt. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It is the path and the only way forward. See through the illusion. So, we have got to start recognising the divisive methods and stop falling into the trap. Do what you say what you do. United we stand. Now, we must be the authors of our future, and we must record history truthfully, because history is a lie. So don't tell me what's happening in history. It is a lie. This is the thing. Fear, doubt, and confusion have been used to control the people for thousands of years, to divide us. We are all one, no matter what your race, no matter what your religion. Together, united. The people of the world, the people of the Commonwealth. That's how we get things done. Now I will say, I have not and never will be a part of the freedom movement, because I am not going to walk the streets chanting freedom. I am free. We're all free. Stand up and own it. Ridiculous. This is the movement that we need. This is a truth evolution. Revolution is a cycle. Picture the revolution of a wheel. This is the truth evolution. We are breaking out of the cycle. We are going to write our future. We do things honourably and we do things united. So see through the illusion. This is the awakening. Anybody that is being distracted and divided because of these psyops, see through it. I don't even want to say the next line. United we stand is it, and that's where we must be. So, as I said, we're under attack. So get behind those in the courts. This is our claim of right. Sign the covenant. I've got the solemn league and covenant here for people who are honour and conscious. With the blessing of the All-Father, Creator, in Christ's light, together united, we've got this. The people are the power.
Kirk taught us to say no. He taught us to be courageous. He taught us to fight back. He taught us to question. Yeah! And can I say to the New South Wales Police, let's say no! 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 Louder, no! We will not be dictated to by grubs like Anthony Albanese and Susan Lane. They are traitors to this country. They are treasonous. Look at this grub Danny Andrews over in China. What a mongrel act. Who do they think they are selling out on Australians? It's despicable. And can I say to the librarian that's in charge of the New South Wales Police, the Police Minister, Yasmin Catley. Boo! How dare you sack those police on a 181D? Because they didn't want to have a jab. And now you
are... Father, the training, been campaigning for the last 5 years. He's the founder of My Place Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Darren Bergwood. Thank you, Craig, and good afternoon, Melbourne. Great to see you all out here today, and this is the beginning of a mass build-up of numbers moving forward. So this is a start, and we are going to continually hold rallies fortnightly. It will turn to weekly, and eventually we will be doing them during the week when Parliament is sitting. My message to you and to all Australians, over the next series of months, you are going to be led into a dead-end street by people that are going to be speaking policy and politics and say, vote for me at the next election and I'll fix this. I call bullshit. There is no fixing this in this house behind me or the one in Canberra. The time for politics and policy is over. This is not about race, religion, flags, or individual issues that we have, because there are hundreds of them. And I could ask 100 different people around this country, what's their major problem? And there'd be 100 different answers. Okay, there is only one problem, and that is a foreign government that is committing war crimes and crimes against humanity against good Australian people. And it is time that we focus all of our attention not on the semantics of flags, religions, race, and all the arguments between each other, and come together as one people with the one common problem, and that is a criminal government. So moving forward, there are other rallies and other things that are going to want to suck you into what I got sucked into in 2022 after I'd just spent a couple of weeks up in Canberra and many days marching the streets in Melbourne in 2021, okay, including the Westgate Bridge back when we first started. Now, I've been through this. I've lived this and breathed this for the last 3 or 4 years. I've dedicated my life to this cause for a better future for my children, and I have sacrificed everything that I worked for my whole life for my family's future to make sure that the money side of things isn't what I need to leave a legacy all behind to my kids. It's a free democracy and a free country. Now, I've been through the whole thing. I've run in 3 elections, right? From someone that was terrified of public speaking before this COVID bullshit came to us. And I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I felt about this big at the first forum that I sat in with 6 other candidates. I wanted the room to open up and swallow me. I was so uncomfortable. I've ran in a federal election in 22. I ran in a state election in 2022, and I ran in a by-election federally for the seat of Dunkley in 2024. I've seen firsthand what the system is, how rigged it is. We've been on the scrutiny tables. There is no political answer to the problems that we face as a nation. We need to recognise that. We are at a fork in the road on the history of this land. And it's a matter of whether you're going to go left and stay in that eternal loop of hopeism, of trying to get somebody into politics that are going to fix all the problems. I can guarantee you, in the system that we have today, nothing will change from the top down. It must be from the ground up by us, the people. We're taking a whole new direction on trying to refocus people away from all the bullshit of what's been going on for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and to focus solely on the source of everyone's problem and tyranny. And tyranny does not discriminate. It is against every race, religion, and creed and flag that you may stand under. Flags were never an issue back in 2021 when we marched these streets. We had flags from all over Europe that were the first ones to wake up to what's going on in this country, and that communism was already on their doorstep because they've lived it. They escaped it and come here for a better life. So there's nothing wrong with showing who you are, where you come from. The argument's not about flags, it's about people. And a flag, in my opinion, does not define a nation. It's its people that define a nation. And the back of our Anzacs who sacrificed everything for us. And we have slipped our way into where we are. We've acquiesced our way into being slaves to the system and under a corporate government, when there are actually 4 levels of government, and most people only know of 3. And the 4th level of government is us, the elector. And the elector actually is the highest level of government, and they've turned this tree upside down and put us at the bottom, and they stomp on us day after day, and they breach our trust every single day. And in fact, I cannot wait until we actually turn this ship around, because these charges are going to come for these people for the treasonous behaviour, for selling out of our ports, our electricity, the selling of our water, our assets, our mining. We should not be paying tax in this country. And when we get this country back to be run by the people, for the people, we will not be paying tax, and all of those mining magnates will be handing back their fraudulent contracts that this government's over years and years have gifted them. And like I said before, there is no political answer to this. So get that out of your mind. Do not let people suck you in to believing in politics any longer. It's not there. It's not going to happen. Right? It is the criminal element of government that must be our focus. It must be what we educate ourselves around. It must be what we expose, and it must be what we learn about. There are at least 10 serious indictable offences that this government is committing on a daily basis. Okay, so there's no voting, there's no getting into a system that is, in my opinion, racketeering with the courts, the police, the banks, and every other so-called watchdog in this country. They are, in my opinion, an organised crime syndicate enforcing usury and slavery against the Australian people, and it must stop.
And it starts here today. And we need to build the numbers. And I don't care if it takes 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. But these rallies and the intent behind them are going to go somewhere. But the other rallies didn't. And if we need to withdraw our labour, withdraw our finances, and withdraw everything away from this system, if it needs to be a lockdown, it needs to be a boycott, we need to build that mentality in the people in this country that we've had enough and we're not going to take it any longer. Yeah. Now, like I said before, it's great to see so many people here today, but this is just a start. We need to build these numbers. We need feet on the street. We have a heap of people that have been onto this for 20, 30 and 40 years. They've been lone soldiers, your Dick Yardleys, your Brian Shaws, your Wayne Blues, and a series of other people. They've done a mountain of work. They've dedicated their life for 30 years without any support. It's about time we pick up the baton and we run with the good work that they've done and we spread their work throughout the nation. There is only one solution, and it is the masses to demand that this government be stood down and we put in a temporary government, which we are developing. We have plenty of good people in this country that have the integrity and the will and the knowledge to run this country until we can sort this shit out and actually have a true and fair election. Okay? So this is what we're wanting to achieve by starting today, by getting the will of the people, the knowledge in the people to demand that this government be stood down. Now, we need massive numbers. We need everyone to bring 2 or 3 people next time we have one of these rallies. Now, there are other rallies happening. Save Australia, and a few other ones. There's the anti-fascist rally. There's also, of course, the anti-racist rally. Now, we know as a nation, as a whole, that we are not fascists and we are not racist. We are good people. What we also need to learn is the discernment that shit's going to happen that's going to trigger people. The burning of our flag, people holding up Hamas signs. These are plans, people. Look through the bullshit. They're there deliberately to divide us and having war against each other rather than focusing on the people in there. And that must be the message today that you get out of today, is educate yourself on the criminality of government and the criminality of the court system to protect them, including a suppression order, a 90-year suppression order by the federal government to suppress the names of 28 pedophiles that are at the top level of government and the justice system, the injustice system, and they won't release those names because you're going to lose confidence in your political system. No. Well, I got news for these Muppets. That confidence was lost 20 years ago. And it's about time that these people that are concealing crimes get held to account. And that's what we will push for, and that's what we will do as a people once we have the numbers and we have the mindset all swimming in the same direction and not being distracted by false flags and burning of flags. Okay, they're stunts to get us to fight each other. It is so simple to see. So anyone that starts to take you on a topic of whinging about a certain policy, just say it doesn't matter. None of the policies matter. It's the people instigating those policies that matter. That's where our attention needs to be. Don't get distracted from that. Don't get distracted by political talk about elections. It's important that we focus on the root of all of our problems, and that is in the building behind me and the building up in Canberra. And until we get that message, until we unite as one people and have the same message, and we march in numbers and we put our demands on the table, we're going to keep going around in circles for another 3 years. And I'm not accepting another 3 years of this bullshit. Are you? Okay, so stand with us and bring people to the next rally, and bring it to the rally that has a flyer that says, Australians unite against government corruption. That is the one! Thank you. One more. one more thing, sorry. 2 seconds. We had a flag here, and as far as all the different flags go, the one that resonates the most with me is the Eureka flag. And on that it says, when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. We are the resistance! Thank you.
Leave the lefty protests and there's just shit everywhere, all right? We care about our country, so we look after it. So look around your feet, pick up a bit of rubbish, and just put it in the bin on the way out. I really want to thank the organisers. I really want to thank the police. They've had their own losses with the tragic shooting of their officers down in Victoria. I want to say thank you. Put your hands together for the police. Thank you. I want you to put your hand together for the organisers. It's not easy to get something like this together. But mostly, thank you, Australia. Thank you for coming down, and let's make Australia great again. Thank you. Right. Next, we have a local guy from Sydney. He knows the struggles firsthand. What he does is he travels the streets around here helping out the homeless. So can we make some noise for Rick Herrera from the Swag family?
Good afternoon, Australia. I come as a brother, I come as a father, I come as a grandfather. I love this country. I love Australia so much that I'm willing to do anything to help a brother or sister out. Because there used to be an ad that said, if you need a hand, be the first to say, do you need a hand? Yeah. What happened to us? I want to start by thanking my Lord Jesus before we go any further. Thank you, Lord, for the brothers and sisters here today from every race, every culture, every denomination. I pray for a peace. I pray for a unity. I thank you all, in the mighty name of Jesus, for today standing up. Amen. Standing up against truth. Standing up against the fact that we have had enough. And it's not had enough of each other. We've had enough of what's been done to each other. Yeah. They want you to hate each other. They want you to turn on each other. But we're all fathers. We're all brothers. We're all Australian. All we want is a better tomorrow for our kids. By standing up and loving one another, we can make a difference. We don't have to fight because God does the fighting for us. We don't have to stand there and abuse because God does the intervening for us. What we need to do is come together like this and speak about where you're at and talk about where you're struggling and what you need done. 15 years I've been serving the streets of Sydney. I have seen every single culture and race and person on the street you can imagine, with addictions, oppression, depression, anxiety, worries, domestic violence, abuse, you name it, we've dealt with it. But it takes a special kind of leader to bring people to a place of healing. To our Indigenous brothers and sisters, God bless you. honestly, I want to say God bless you. I tell you what, the oppression started at the beginning and they turned each other on each other. The only way we're going to have healing is to start respecting each other, start loving each other, start standing up for what's right. And by you guys being here today, you've shown that you've had enough. You've had enough. So to the government, I pray for you every day. I pray that you would turn from your wicked ways. I pray that you would turn back and just turn and run back for the people that are here today. For those brothers and sisters that are out there speaking hate speeches, I just want to say something. There's one thing to share God's love, but you got to do it in love. You got to do it in love. You don't need to sit there and attack each other because we're all here for one cause, and that's to stand up for our families, our future generation. So, to all the Australians here, to all those from all different countries that have called Australia home, love yous, I pray for yous, and I pray that Australia becomes better. God bless yous all.
Thank you, Rick. Whoa. Now, our next speaker, people attacked her during the last week as well. Why? Because she runs a financial company and she's been donating to the cause for the last 5 years at least. A lot of freedom fighters, she helps them out. She helps supply things like the sound and the stage for these events. She ran a lot of the events in Canberra the last 4 years. Her son's a professional footy player. She might talk on that, but can we make some noise for the lady that helps these things happen, Cass Smith from Freedom Financial Solutions.
Thanks, Mike. And thank you all for coming. So I'm going to change the pace a little bit here because I'm just an accountant. And accountants are really, really boring. So I'm here to talk about money. Oh my God. But I'm not just an accountant. I was also a financial planner before I saw the light. I'm also a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, a property advisor, a trust specialist. And a lot of people are interested in trust these days. So I've got a lot of accolades and degrees and experience, 30 years experience running one of Australia's. I was the CEO of Australia's most awarded financial firm. But all that's a load of crap. That means nothing. Above all else, I'm a mother. Yeah. And I'm a mama bear. And 2020 changed everything for me. About 30 years ago, it all started for me. I was pregnant with my first child, and I wanted to research what it was that they wanted to put into my baby. Back then, we didn't have Google. I had to go to the library. I had to read research reports and scientific journals. And you know what? There was no answers. I love science. And when science, if you ask a question, you should get an answer. But all the questions I asked, there were no answers. So I decided not to inject my children 30 years ago. And I fought that fight for 30 years, keeping them safe, out of the system. Yeah? So 30 years went past, and now my children, 4 beautiful, very, very healthy children. But now 2020 comes along. I was devastated. I could no longer keep my children safe because they were now adults making their own choices, and anyone who's a parent knows that your children don't always listen to you. And one of my sons, as Mike mentioned, was playing for the Canberra Raiders, and I knew that he would be forced to make a choice. He was an upcoming star, absolute superstar, and he would be made to make a choice that no young man should have to make. Yeah. So I was devastated. I realised then that I could not keep my children safe. And the only way I could was to stand up and fight for everybody's children. Fight for Australia. Yeah. So we started the rallies in Canberra, Mary Jane and I. We had about 20 people there at the first one, and then we grew to 50. And then we had 1,000. And at that one, Mary Jane went, oh my God, someone better say something. Cass, have a megaphone. I stood on the stage and went, I'm an accountant, I don't know what to say. So I told the story about my son. And when I looked up, there was tears in the crowd for what I was going through as a mama bear. That's when I knew I had to stand up. I had to use my voice. Yes, I've got 30 years experience in the financial system. What's that about anymore? I quit all my jobs. I sold everything. Wasn't interested. Who gives a shit? What's the point in having money when they're just going to tax us and tax us and tax us? Yeah. But then I realised that my financial skills could actually be used to help people like you, and that I had knowledge. I also worked for the tax department for 11 years. Don't hold that against me. But I got to see a lot of things, and I know a lot of things about how to help Australians with their tax system and getting your assets safe. And what do I mean by that? Yes, people criticised me online last week, so I'm just going to sell you something. I'm going to sell you something, all right? And I'm going to sell you something that I get nothing for. What I recommend people do, I do not get anything. And what I recommend you do, get your money out of your bank accounts, get your money out of the financial system, get your money out of your superannuation and into gold and silver. Go to a gold dealer near you, get your gold, get your silver, bury it in your backyard. My young son rang me the other day. He's only 20. He's earning really good money, 100,000. That's a good money for a young kid. He said to me, he said, Mum, after paying the bills this week, we've got $10 left for food. And that is the reality of the next generation coming through. They cannot earn enough. The taxes are going through the roof. The unrealised gains taxes, the spare room tax, if you all heard about that. In Australia, we've got a view, in Queensland, we've got a view tax. If you've got a view, you pay taxes. So the government is just taxing Australia into the ground. So we all need to stand up. We all need to look after ourselves and our own financial position. I set up a new firm called Freedom Financial Solutions. It's called Freedom FFS. So Freedom FFS, Freedom for Friend's sake. And that is why we called it Freedom FFS. We're a fantastically professional financial firm called Freedom for Sake. So if you need any help, come and see us. But everybody, thank you for turning up. Keep turning up. Turn up for yourselves. Turn up for your mates. Turn up for Australia. And for God's sake, turn up for the next generation. Thank you.
Yes. So the next guy coming up, he's a bit of a loose cannon. So hopefully he's on his best behaviour. You may have heard him from a podcast he does every day called Sack the Lot, Stop the Rot. Something like that. Can we make some noise for Dave Guru Graham?
Thanks, Mick. All right, guys, I'm going to change the tone just a little bit. You see, I've got Pepsi up here with me, okay? And this is all about government corruption, guys. So in 2015, we'd struggled with a daughter for a couple of years. We got no help out of the government. We got no help of anything. And unfortunately, we lost our daughter 10 years ago, this December coming. She had this puppy called Pepsi for 3 days before she left us. Pepsi was about this big. Our daughter was bullied to death, guys, just like you people are being bullied to death by the government. In the words of the great Romeo Georges, who I wish would come back on the scene, your government loves you to death. Exactly what they are doing to you. So I'd just like to say, guys, that we sat and watched our daughter get bullied to death. We wrote laws for schools. We watched the government hide them. Who is he? Gareth Ward. Gareth Ward in your cell there, bro. Thanks very much for walking into my and Mel's family house, sitting at our table, telling us what you do for us, taking away the laws that we wrote for the schools for bullying and hiding them in the parliament. Thanks, Gareth. Well done, son. This is government corruption, guys. It's in many, 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 many areas. Okay? My granddad was a rat at Brook. A rat at Brook. Him and his younger brother. His younger brother lied to get there at 15. And they both come home from the war. And I know that my granddad standing up there couldn't be as proud as any prouder of all you people standing out there. All right, so I want to thank all you people. All right, because without you, nothing goes, guys. We run a news show. It's called Stop the Rot, Sack the Lot. It's on 15 channels. It's every night at 7 p.m. weeknights. And we just like to tell you the truth about what the government's doing. So I think that we can get these numbers together, guys. I think we're on a bit of a roll now. All right, we're about to take off on a really big wave, guys. Right, we don't know whether we're going right, left. We don't know whether it's going to close out. You don't know whether you're going into the barrel. You got no idea where you're going. But guess what? We're all going there together. And that's how we get there. All right? So I'd like to thank everyone that's put this on today for allowing me to come up here and speak to you people. And I just like to finish in 2 words of prayer, guys. And that is, God, we love you. And God, we know you love us. And God, you never pick perfect people. Moses was a murderer. David was an adulterer. Samson played in the occult. Rahab was a prostitute. God grabs normal people and he makes them do things that are miraculous. So open your heart to the Lord. This is his battle, guys, right? You are a pawn in his war, but you have a job. So go back tonight. Get some discernment. Ask the good Lord what your position in this silent war is and take it. Take it on board. Let's get to the governors. All right, we got Margaret Beasley down there and we need to get there, guys, every Monday at Maggie's. All right, let's all have a sickie. All right, get to Maggie's. Let's organise the date. Let's get there. And let's make a difference, Australia. I love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guru. Whoa. Next up, we got a younger woman. She represented Australia in soccer. She's fought for many causes. She's now a naturopath and she just wants to talk about some unity. So can we make some noise for Doris Osmond?
We live in a time where division is being sold to us daily by the media, by politics, and by systems that profit when we fight each other. But deep down, we know the truth. When we stand together, nothing can break us. Unity is our greatest strength as Australians. It is the single most crucial ingredient required to overcome the challenges that we currently face right now. Regardless of where we all come from, which God we believe in, what color our skin is, what language we speak, we all want the same things. To be able to live freely with no violence and no fear of our safety. To not have to work like slaves, only to give almost half our pay to a corporation who doesn't even use it to benefit us. To not have to be under surveillance 24/7, chipped, tracked, and traced. And to not have to deal with the continuous increase in living costs and have our resources be sold off to foreign corporations rather than shared equally amongst us. These are very basic human rights and living conditions that we all deserve. However, I want to share something that may challenge us, and I say this with love. The government isn't really our enemy. The real challenge lies within us. When we are divided, we struggle to come together and work cohesively. This creates the space and opportunity for systems and greedy people to step in and take control. This isn't about blame, it's about empowerment and looking within. Looking at the aspects of our lives in which we give our power away and feed these systems. If we truly want to change the system around us, we must first recognize the power of the systems within us. The outer world is always a reflection of the inner world. Every time we choose division over unity, fear over courage, or apathy over action, we give away a little bit of our power. But every time we choose truth, compassion, and responsibility, we reclaim it. This is where the deeper wisdom traditions remind us of something profound, that the real battlefield isn't only in politics or institutions, but in our own hearts and minds. We live in a spiritual democracy. In Zoroastrianism, the world's oldest monotheistic religion, they believe that we contribute to the cosmic struggle between good and evil in the collective consciousness through our personal choices in our individual lives. When we promote good words, thoughts, and actions, we are voting for the party of good, thereby contributing to the balance and harmony of the collective consciousness. But when we promote bad words, thoughts, and actions, we are voting for the party of evil. Our choices influence the outcome of the struggle of good and evil more than voting for our favorite candidate or party ever could. So when it comes to voting, the question isn't, does your vote count?
It does because they're all fucking Indians! Just saying! Just saying!
No more Labour!
What the question is, what does voting symbolize, and how do we really vote? The world needs organization. If we want to be organized by people with integrity, virtue, and wisdom, we need to embody these qualities within ourselves first. In other words, we need to become the change that we want to see in the world. Australia is a nation with quite a history. We all have ancestors who either came from war, genocide, displacement, and difficulty. We all carry these wounds deep within us. And I remind you that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to another. Now is the time to transmute these wounds and use them as a positive driving force for a better future for ourselves, our children, and future generations. I will end this with a quote by Rudolf Steiner. Transmuted anger is loving.
There's some people
Great. We've got 3 or 4 speakers left, guys. Next, we have a doctor. It's a bit different again. I know we do it different around here, but doctors matter, yeah? We all see a doctor at some point, and he's got something to say. Dr. Paul.
Hello, Sydney. I was the first doctor suspended by APRA for speaking the truth. I was also the first doctor unsuspended by suing them in the Supreme Court. Something is very wrong with this country in the last 5 years. I'm here, I've been given 2 minutes to say, I'm standing for bodily autonomy, which is the right to say no. Informed consent. And an end to the censorship. I have been censored and shadow banned like you won't believe. So I'm just here to say hello. I'm here. I represent the LighthouseDeclaration.org. It's all about that. We need to get our country back. We need free speech. We need to be off the back of censorship so we can actually sort through the problems which face our country.
Yeah.
And without free speech, we don't have a democracy, and we can't do science. And we, as Johnny said, we have a real problem with these shots. We've got excess mortality. We've got effects on cancer in young people that we've never seen. We've got We've got disaster after disaster. So we need real speech and we need real morality to come back to our country.
Conquer us all. They work for foreign terrorists, and we have to fight back against that with everything we've got. So I won't take up much more of your time here today. But let us be aware that we are doing everything we can. We're fighting with everything we've got. And we need every Australian to stand up. We've heard about our Anzacs. Well, we are in the middle of losing our country. When all our stinking filthy politicians turn up on Anzac Day and they lay wreaths and they tell everyone how much we owe our Anzacs and they talk their honour and their sacrifice. They are selling them out. They are desecrating the memory of our Anzacs. And they're doing it for money. They think that they're on the side that's going to win. That's why they've decided. We're in Victoria. We've seen a piece of filth, low-life scum, Daniel Andrews. And we thought Elbow got a bad reaction. Daniel Andrews has recently been photographed. And Jacinda Allen. Well, I can tell you right now what a lot of people told them. And I'll just finish by saying that Anthony Albanese, the last he was seen leaving Ballarat, his motorcade was hightailing it out of town with a whole heap of farmers on tractors in high-speed pursuit. Rack off Albanese, rack off Jacinda Allen. You take your corrupt foreign terrorist governments and you shove them. The Australian people have spoken. Mr. White Northhouse, give him a big clap, guys. I'm glad you're staying because, as you know, this is one of many rallies that need to go forward. So those that have gone off and marched, bless them, but you'll get the opportunity to march. Don't you worry about that. I promise you. Now, one thing we can do, a whole bunch of consistent, smaller actions are what's required here. So part of that is changing our mindset. This is not going to be done in one swoop. It is consistent
ongoing action that you are going to have to reinvest some of your time. Is your country worth it? Is your country worth it? Sure, you might decide to sit in your comfort zone for the next 6 to 12 months, and you'll be comfortable for a while, and then you won't be. So we have to reinvest some of your time. Saving a country isn't something you do if you've got a bit of spare time. Saving your country is reinvesting your time into things that are monotonous, painstaking. So celebrate the small wins. Today is a small win. Look around you. This is a win. It's a small win, but it's one of many steps. So start getting around that mindset of I'm going to have to reinvest some of my time into having more conversations, into studying more, into reading more, into having your own community gatherings. Get together in groups. Go and visit your local elected representative, please. We're using Mockingbird back on them. They're not politicians. They're elected representatives of the people. They do what you want them to do, not the other way around. They are not our lords and masters. Elected representative of the people. It's about time they started doing that again, isn't it? Now, speaking about elected representatives of the people, our next speaker was a gentleman in Parliament for 23 years who did stand up, and the changes he wanted to make from the inside was stifled by the corrupt cesspit that is in there. And Bernie's going to speak a bit about that now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bernie Finn.
Thank you very much. Craig, thank you so much for organising today to begin with, because what a crowd! What a crowd! It is sensational. I'm not going to keep you here much longer anyway. But I just want to mention a bloke who left us during the week. A bloke called Charlie Kirk. A man who stood up for what was right. He stood up to those who would do us harm. And they took his life. Now I'm hopeful that none of us will have to suffer that fate. But what we do need to do is to use Charlie Kirk as an inspiration. To remember him and to hold him up as somebody that we can follow. I know where he is now. He's upstairs with the boss. I've got no doubt about that at all. But what he has left us is an example. He has left us an example for every single one of us to follow. Every single one of us. I ask you to take that on board. I ask you to use Charlie's example as something that we can all follow well into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running at the next election. I don't want to run at the next election. I ran at the last election. I didn't want to run at the last election. But let me tell you, I cannot turn my back on what is going on in this state, what is going on in this country. I cannot turn my back on that and walk away. That is not on. That is not on. Because we have the worst group of politicians I have ever seen in my life. Right now. State and federal. State and federal. They're bloody shocking. And you just have to have a look at what Susan Lee did to Senator Price during the week to know that it's not just Labor, but it's Liberal as well. It's on both sides. We have a Prime Minister. We have a Foreign Minister. Remember Senator Wong? Remember her? They have embraced international terrorism as a way of life. It is absolutely extraordinary that we would have a government that would allow that to happen. If you want to know where the centre point is of all corruption in this state, look behind me. Look behind me. We have had, over the last decade in this state, the singularly most corrupt government in the state's history. It is totally and absolutely corrupt. It is a whole range of things, and the good doctor mentioned before about how he had been treated, and I stood up during the pandemic, or what you will. I stood up and actually came down here and I spoke to people at the front, and I told them that I supported them. I got into a lot of trouble for that, and I'm sure as a result of that, that expedited my expulsion from the Liberal Party, because I didn't do as I was told. But then again, I've never done as I've told. So it doesn't matter. I want to tell you a story that I raised in Parliament while I was in there a couple of years ago. It involved a 10-year-old girl out near where I live. It's just horrendous. Thanks, Mum. This little girl came home one day, and she's normally a very happy-go-lucky little girl, very, a bright little girl. She came home, and she went straight to her room. She wouldn't open her door. Her mum and her dad couldn't speak to her. She wouldn't speak to them. And it was many, many hours before they actually coaxed her. They said to her, "What's wrong? What's happened? What has upset you so much?" She said, "It's school." They said, what happened at school? She said, "My teacher today during time." This is just one example of how these people hide behind all sorts of things to hurt our kids. Now, I'm in politics, I've got to tell you, I'm in politics to help kids. I love kids. I love kids. And I believe that the greatest judgment that we can have on how successful we've been in life is if we leave this earth in better shape than the way we found it. I have to say to you that if that happened to me, if the good Lord called me home tonight, I would have to declare myself a total failure. Because we have all failed our young people. We have a situation where little girls are being asked if they're little boys. Little boys are being asked if they're little girls. We have all this sort of the sexualization of children. The sexualization of children. Well, this is just grooming them. This is just grooming them. It is disgraceful, and it is all part of the corruption that this government has. I cannot believe just how bad the Andrews government is. And I say Andrews because she is Jacinda Andrews. She is Dan Andrews in pencil. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Folks, I'm going to leave it there because it has been a fairly long session. But I just want to say to you that I want to fight with you. I don't want to fight against you. I want to fight with you.
Have a look at yourselves, will you?
Well, as you can see, folks, I'll bring this over here a bit. As you can see, the live streams are...
Have a look at yourselves, will you?
And there is so much trouble getting live streams out at the moment. That's even been... I've had that buffering now for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and it's just not playing the game. Either I need to get out and reboot the system, which is quite possible, or... I think the Melbourne stream is being...
Have a look at yourselves, will you? Have a look at yourselves, will you?
Oh, that's all going well. We've got a loop going. Wonder whether or not it'll catch up. I just was trying to get Hoodie's few words. Make sure I'm hitting the play button. And we might have to wait for the replay, as they say.
The misfits I've ever laid eyes on.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's about as good as we're going to get for the time being. We are having a bit of an issue with bandwidth. I'm sure that's what it is. Now, whether that's my bandwidth or everything that's coming out of Melbourne and Sydney, and I haven't had anybody send me any vision from Brisbane at all. It was good to see Guru on the stage, I've got to say. That was unexpected, and certainly wasn't anything that was spoken about with my dealings with them earlier in the week. And great speech. I thought Cass's was a great speech too, and in fact there was quite a number of great speeches. Darren Bergworth I thought was a standout in the Melbourne speeches. Some of those are still going on. Jackie Dundee was a great speech, a bit long, but great speech. And oh, well, too many to name, actually. They're very poignant. I think a lot of them are sticking on message. I was very keen to hear what Hoodie had to say, but yeah, the whole thing is buffering madly. So we might end up having to leave it there for the time being. I know that Adam in Perth should be getting underway in about 15 minutes' time, and I'm hopeful of getting a feed out of there, but I need, I think, to go and reboot the computer because, as you've said, Fern, the grubs are getting into it. So yeah, you're right, need it hosted on a server, and my server operator was meant to be here, but for some reason he's been held up. I hope he's all right. I'm talking about Vince, and he may well have had a very late night printing and is still asleep, but we actually had a plan today to be setting that sort of stream up on the server from about 11 o'clock this morning, but didn't quite play out the way we'd hoped, unfortunately. And as it worked out, some of the people who were going to be able to hold a camera and point it in the direction of the stage today were, for varying reasons, either not going or unable to do the job. I'm really pleased to see so many people in Sydney and Melbourne roll out. A great sea of flags, and I don't care which one you're waving. At the end of the day, right now, what flag it is and what you know about it is of little consequence until you can prove the other end of the argument as to why it is a corporate flag. And God knows we're all trying for that. I have a very strange... Every screen I've got, and I've got a few, is all locked up. So, disappointingly, I am going to not be able to bring you by the look of it. Hoodie. Let's see. Yeah. We might get it.
You're standing here under the Australian flag. Yeah. Wave it high.
Let's see if I can blow it up.
Wave it high. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. Now there'll be gatherings of pockets of politicians in states and in the federal that will be sitting around looking at this going, oh, there's not that many of them. We don't have to worry about them. Yeah, they're a minority. Well, what are they marching for? We don't know what they're marching for. Well, let me give you a couple of causes. One is medical tyranny. Yeah. We're sick of being told what to take and being forced to take it. We're sick of people who followed your advice being ignored even though they're dying. This goes way back. I've got a real passion for the infected bloods survivors. Those people who 30 or 40 years ago were given a product that the government said was safe and effective. And the government's forgotten them. They don't want to know them. We've got the pelvic mesh incident. That's gone down really well, hasn't it? And aren't we sick of the big legal firms who are doing all these actions and raking in all the money while the victims get nothing? Are you sick of that? Yeah. We're over big law. We're over big pharma. We're over big app. We're over big everything except big heart. We're here, we're marching because we don't see the sense of not being able to use our own coal for our own electricity. We think that the government is prostituting this country by selling its coal to India and China to burn and fill the atmosphere with the CO2 they're trying to stop getting out there. Where's the common sense in that? I'm marching for our brothers and sisters in Victoria who are under the thumb of the Daniel Andrews government still, while he's lauding it with the rich and famous in Beijing, unelected, and nobody in Australia is saying anything about that. Jacinda Allen has increased their fire levy by 187%. And the farmers are having to give up their farms. They can't even sell their farms because nobody can afford to buy one for the cost of running it. Who's going to feed us? At the same time, she's spending $700 million instituting a treaty with the Aboriginal people that 60% of Australians said no to. Yeah. Where's the common sense in that? We're all one. And here's the other thing that really worries me. When a government keeps poking the people and it can't read the room, when it can't see the damage it's doing to the people. It's like Marie Antoinette in the French Revolution. Queen, the citizens are revolting. Let them eat cake. That's Albanese's answer to everything. Let them eat cake. What about all the people that are struggling living in their cars under bridges around the country? What about the homeless? And we want sustainable immigration. We want immigration, but we want it to be sustainable. Yeah! Woo! And I'm also marching against hate and division. Yeah! Because as much as I despise the behaviour of people like Daniel Andrews and others and Albo, I got to tell you, there's not a person on this planet I hate because there's no profit in it. There's no profit in hating people. They want to divide you. It's up to us to mend that division. It's time to come back together as a nation to heal. This isn't a battle between the red and the blue. This isn't a battle between conservative politics and the other side. This is a battle between good and evil. Yeah. Are you awake to that now? Yeah. Are you ready to take part and choose a side? Yeah. I want to tell you what I believe, who I believe our enemy is. I believe our enemy is communism. Yeah. And this country has become a communist country by stealth. Anthony Albanese joined the Communist Party 42 years ago. The Labor Party is riddled with communists. Now, the communist Marxist regimes around the world have an agenda, and that agenda is first to go to Christian democratic countries like this one and demoralise them. How do they do that? They do it with the media, they do it with the politics, they introduce division like, transgenderism, transhumanism, all the other isms. Then after they demoralise us, they destabilise us. And when they destabilise us, then they normalise that. And that's what's happening here. This government is dividing us to destabilise us and fill us with fear so we turn on each other. And I say no to that. Say no to that. No! If we're in a battle between good and evil, we've got to realise that the communist Marxists, the first institution they attack is the Christian faith. They go into a country, they've got to get rid of Christian faith because that's the enemy of communism and Marxism. We've allowed that to happen in this country because we've turned down the light on God. We have turned down the light on God. We've allowed it to happen on our watch. Rise up! We have to bring God back to fill the void. Back in 1900, a group of grey-haired, bearded old men sat and prayed every day, and they worked on the Australian Constitution of 1901. It was based on biblical principles. It was based on principles discussed and organised to protect the people by good, godly men. And all of Australia kept its promise to God back then. But we've let God down. We've got to bring him back. It's time. It's time to put God back where God belongs. This country has a God-shaped hole in it that is being filled with all kinds of isms. Communism, fascism, narcissism. Think of some more isms.
Globalism.
Zionism. Capitalism. We're done with all the isms. So we created a vacuum and we're sucking in all this other stuff that's not good for us. We've got to fill that vacuum up with God again. We've got to put him back where he belongs. And it's really urgent that we do that. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah!
I'm one of very few people in Australia who had the privilege of sitting and spending time with Charlie Kirk. I was honoured to do that in March when I was invited to the Wisdom Pearl Conference in Phoenix, Arizona. As we sat in the green room out the back, Charlie walked in surrounded by security and sat down there being made up with his makeup and getting his hair done and all that for the presentation. And while others were gathering around him, getting selfies and all that sort of stuff, I could see that he just needed a bit of a break, you know. So I sat in the back corner of the green room, and after 20 minutes, he looked at me and he kept looking and he said, "What's your story?" And I told him who I was. He said, "I've heard about you. I've heard about you." And he said, "You're a Sabbath keeper, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, Saturday's the Sabbath, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I believe that too." He said, "How do you justify going to a rally on the Holy Sabbath day?" I said, "I don't go to rallies, I go to church."
Yeah!
When I go to a rally, I'm going to church because I'm preaching the gospel. And I'm going to preach it in really, really simple terms because it has to be simple for me to understand it. And there he was. Yeah, water for Hoodie. That'll be good. Get him a water. Thank you. So the conversation went. Thanks, brother. The conversation went along the lines of, you know what you've just said to me has given me encouragement to keep going to events like this on a Saturday, on the Sabbath, on the Holy Sabbath day. And he was a Sabbath keeper and he wrote a book. He wrote a book about it, and that book, he finished it and he used some of the stuff we talked about in the book. And he's published the book. The book will be out in December. I'm going to get a copy and I'm going to cherish it. Yeah. But when I walked out on stage to be interviewed by Charlie Kirk, When the MC announced me coming out, Charlie pointed at me and he said to the crowd, "I love this guy, he's the real deal." And I want you to know, I know some of you disagree with some of my thoughts on things. I know some of you out there literally hate me because I get a lot of hate mail. But I am the real deal. I don't care whether you like me or not. It's none of my business. I just believe in you. And I believe in this country. And I'm going to stand whenever I can. Because you're just beautiful. Oi, oi, oi. Now I want to say this to you, that we are approaching a time of great peril. This battle between good and evil, we need to really choose sides quickly. Now, in the 14th chapter of the book of Revelation, verses 6 and 7, it talks about 3 angels that are sent by God to warn the people of the world. The first angel flies across the midst of heaven and says, "Fear God and give glory to him, he who created the earth, the waters, and all the seas." What that means is decide you need to focus on God and give him the glory. Focus on him. And the second angel, that's the everlasting gospel. The second angel comes across, and this is the one I love. The second angel says, "Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen." What's Babylon the Great? It's the New World Order. It's the one world religion. It's the one world government. And Babylon the Great is fallen, it's fallen. What that means is God is telling us that Babylon the Great, the New World Order, is going down. And when he says it twice, he says it's going down and it ain't getting up. It's finished. And the last one is the third angel flies across the midst of heaven and says, "Don't take on the mark of the beast. We're sorting this mess out now. Make sure you focus on the real gospel. Worship God with everything you've got. Love your neighbour as you love yourself. And give glory to God." It's time to fill the God-shaped hole in this country with he who should be there, and that's God. So God bless you, Australia. Whether you agree with each other or not, it's time to end the division. It's time to stop calling each other Freemasons and all that other rubbish and get on with it. Because you're giving that mob more publicity than they deserve. The reason this world is a mess is because of secret societies. And sin and evil thrives when people keep secrets. And this government, at the moment, it thinks because it lives on secrets. And we're calling it out. God bless you, Australia.
For you. And we're going to keep bloody doing it too. So the fact is, media, the treasonous government, you keep stuck in them up. You keep talking
No, it's all been said. Oh, yeah, it's all been said. I don't want to fool around with same stuff again. Yeah. Next time. Yeah. Oh, because Carl wanted me to film you, but you didn't even get up there. So. Yeah, it's gone too long and too much of the stuff has already been said. Yeah, there's no point going over it twice. Yeah, so.
You know what you got to do.
But there's some big stuff happening. Actually, we're on now. Is there anything you want to say? Streamline Carl's chat. No, not really. Not yet. Oh, yeah? Okay. We've got a new monetary system we're bringing out. We're trying to stay a little bit low. Oh, okay, yeah. And when it'll be out, it'll be big. Well, we need something new. Yeah, everybody gets $500,000 for free. Yeah, that is making that's a good start. That's right. So to make everybody trade, yeah. It's got a blockchain voting app attached to it. Yeah. So you give 10,000 out straight away and then 2,000 a month.
Every day here in this corner. Don't get sucked into people and policies and politics, please. That is not where this group is going. So that's why I asked thank you all for coming. It's awesome, and this will build and get bigger. Thanks. All right, let's just finish that one last time. Who's it? One last time, let's have thousands of people tell Elmo and the Cinderella to get stuck. So one more time. So let's keep on the count on three. 1, 2, 3. Are you champions? See you next one.
That means he's shown you a bugger there, mate. Yeah. We don't realise what we're saying. So, yeah, I'll bugger off, mate.
Okay, so looks like a lot of the speeches have wrapped up just about everywhere. I want to thank Chris Discovery's channel because I've been feeding a lot out of Sydney. In fact, most of what you've seen has come from him or from Joel's Turning Point channel today. This particular feed out of Melbourne, I think, is Amanda Sheedy, who is streaming live on her Facebook channel at the moment, and there's just going to be a lot of music and that sort of stuff coming through there. So I'm going to just mute it for the time being. I think all the speeches there have just finished. As you can see, the computer's having a hard time. It's dropped my background. And a few other things are happening that mean I'm essentially got to get out and restart the computer and hope it all comes back together again. It looks like a very successful event held in Sydney with, I don't know how many thousands. I would have to say, just on the view I've seen, sort of 20 or so plus thousand. They were expecting 50,000, so fingers crossed. Great to see Dave Guru Graham on that stage, a bit of an unexpected treat for people. I don't think that was the plan at any stage that I was aware of. Not that I'm aware of their plans. I'm not hooked up with them. And I thought he spoke very, very well, as did everybody. I'm sorry that we weren't able to provide as an extensive coverage as I may have hoped, but it's hard given the limitations of this system and my system, my computing power, and the ability to have another way. We were going to lay this off on a different channel and run 2 channels or run through Vince's server, but unfortunately Vince wasn't able to join us, so it sort of fall over a bit. Hoodie said the government can't read the room. You're right. They can read the room. They just don't give a shit. 100% right. I couldn't agree more. The problem has always been the government. And as Charlie's here identifying, it is, in fact, their bosses, the cartel, the cabal, the central banking system, the Rothschilds and those affiliates of theirs that are the ones pulling the puppet strings, the puppet master, if you will. They can't fight back against all the people in the world. And we've seen how Nepal, the young people in Nepal have woken up, and they've woken up hard. They've set places on fire. There's been great rioting. They've identified accurately their government as one of the most corrupt, and they want them out. They are going to force change. Indonesia is saying the same sorts of things. It's happening all over the world, a number of countries. Europe is starting to wake up, and as somebody pointed out in the chat, there was a motion passed in the EU, that's the European Union, the European Parliament, if you like, to a motion about Charlie Kirk and the assassination, remembering him. And it didn't just turn into a silent minute of, members standing there with their heads bowed. They all started banging the table. And that might be, this could be a catalyst for change around the world. Charlie wasn't just influential in America. He was very influential outside of America too. And he even reached into the world of Formula One. Max Verstappen, the 4-time world champion, was hurt, as so many people were, but hit hard by Charlie's death. And Max isn't known for showing too much emotion, but he certainly has made it very clear that the world has lost someone special, not just America. The world has lost someone special with Charlie Kirk. Well, Charlie, yeah, there are a few things about it that do sniff wild and weird, but last night, Vince and I don't know that we explained it very well, and it's because of the limitations. We don't want to upset people using the video that we've got, which is an unedited video of the shot that kills Charlie. It's not the kind of thing that we want to play people at 6:30 at night if they're not ready for it. And I believe that if I were to play the thing, YouTube will, take the channels down. So Rumble may not, but YouTube certainly will, and Facebook and whatever other platforms it goes up on. So we didn't risk that. But what we were trying to do is zoom in and show people, and I'm assuming, Charlie, you might be referring to The Ring, one of the conspiracy theories saying that, oh, no, this was all an AI-generated event. Look at The Ring, watch The Ring, watch The Ring. I can tell you that Charlie Kirk wore a thing called a flick ring, and there is plenty of video evidence available showing him playing with it on a variety of fingers on both hands. Now, this is, flick ring is a nice name for a fidget ring. Instead of spinning it around on your finger, this ring opens, and there is a clasp on the side of it where the ring would come up around the finger, and where it was quite a large piece here, well, it joined on the side, and he could flick it, and there's plenty of evidence of him doing just that, flicking it with his one finger and closing it again with another finger on his ring finger, doing it on his index finger as well. Vince has gone through this frame by frame. We've been through it together frame by frame. We showed a lot of you last night exactly what happens to the ring as Charlie is impacted by the bullet, and what happens as he goes back, and his left hand particularly, which was holding the microphone, what happens to that ring. Now, there is every chance that the ring was partially, if not fully open at the time, because Charlie was answering questions, and he could open and close it with his thumb on his hand at will. Now, he reached over for the microphone. That too could have popped it, or quite simply the impact and the shock going through his body could also have popped this ring. But as he goes back, the ring opens. And if you open it up on the ring finger, it looks for all the money like it is on the pinky finger. But you go a few frames further on, and you will see that the ring head, the top of the whole ring, comes off his finger and is ejected off his hand and falls to the floor. So it's quite clear that it is his ring that comes off his hand. It's quite clear that the image that's been portrayed as the ring on his little finger is not on his finger. It is a flick ring or a flip ring or a fidget ring that opens up, and it is in the open stage where that frame of photo is taken, and that's why it looks like it's on his pinky, because it's covering his pinky. But yeah, follow the frames through. The next 6 or 7 or 10 frames will show you the truth of it. And I do have some images, some still images I've taken. I've got to crop those so we can zoom in a little tighter, but I will prove that to you. Next week we'll talk further about that. Yes, he is being martyred somewhat, isn't he? And certainly I think it's unexpected on a global scale, but in America, certainly a catalyst for great change, I suspect. How will the Democrats push back against something like this? I don't know. Is there still a police standoff going on? Well, it certainly appears like there is one going on. Oh, I'll put that up. It certainly appears like there is one going on. Now, from what I understand from Melbourne, and I can bring up another channel. Now, this one here is the Auditor. So that's Sydney, not Melbourne, obviously. Beg your pardon, with Chris Govery's vision there, but catching up with one of the guys who spoke earlier, I've forgotten his name. In Melbourne, does appear to be something of a standoff between police and I'm not completely sure who. It became clear earlier today that Melbourne was going to make it very difficult for people to get to the city and come to this event. The trains went down on certain lines, a number of lines turned into buses, which means traffic mayhem. People will make a decision to go on a train, yes, but not a bus. Traffic was bedlam because they routed everything that was going into the city through one road and one access point. So they've made it unbearably difficult for people to actually get to the event. I'm sure we're going to think. I'm sure they're going to think of other interesting and weird and wonderful ways to play with us, but we shall see. I'm just having a bit of a scroll, Zippy, to see where that might be. I don't think that's you. Pardon me, folks, just while I'm looking here for Zippy's video. I might have to come back and get it all later on because I'm playing with 100 of these things. Ah, here we go. No, that's not it. Yeah, right. I'm looking at things happening all over the place from other folks. Sorry, I beg your pardon. I can't see that at the moment, Zippy. I'm sorry. I don't know which account. And I don't drive Telegram very well, which is also something I need to improve on. So I'm just going to flick the sound back up on the Melbourne feed, and I'm going to make a phone call to try and find out what's actually going on. So back in a sec.
Mental health.
Yeah.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Because the
You can thank the
universities,
government for that.
yeah, but the universities have ruined them too much. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh yeah, the university is just a training
You know
ground.
how good
But
I feel. My son's 15. He wants to be. My son wants to. My boy wants to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And what's scaring me at the moment, the universities and the agendas. What are they actually teaching?
Well, you know, when you become a lawyer, you swear an oath to the bar. You don't swear an oath to the client or you or me.
Yeah, yeah.
You swear an oath to the bar. So even if you get engaged a lawyer, they're not on your side. They're on the court side.
Yeah.
Because they've sworn an oath.
Yeah, but that's what worries me. You know, it's the way they're teaching the court. It's the old way.
Yeah.
It's their new agenda. And what they won't be teaching them everything. So they're kind of dumbing the lawyers down a bit as well.
Well, they don't teach you to think for yourself. They teach you to follow the indoctrination.
Same thing as with the doctors.
Yeah.
Because a lot of doctors are following that because they're not thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Well, there were some that weren't giving people the bioweapons, but the government that shut them all down. Yeah. Well, they don't even teach it in schools.
They don't even teach history anymore. History's out.
Yeah.
So I know that, and I was getting angry with one of the teachers. I said, "How come kids aren't learning history? Because history repeats itself. You know that. So they need to learn the important things that are going on in the world. But don't put your agendas in. Just teach them about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's the basics. Let them form their own
Yeah,
opinion.
that's right.
It's a problem. You're not giving them you're making them think for themselves. They think for them. I'm curious. Are you curious, George? I don't know. Wow. Got the wow. It's got the wow. Look, all I have to say, all I have to say, we're very outnumbered. So just remember that. These are all people that have no idea what they're fighting for.
They'll probably pay.
I feel sorry for the horses because they're the ones that get attacked. Yeah, they're the ones.
I need to come of the flame. I stood upon the rocky shore. I watched the tall ships come. 30,000 years in the first Australia. I came upon a prison ship, knocked down by iron chains. I walked the land and chewed the lash. I waited for the rain. I'm a settler, I'm a farmer's wife on a dry and road. Convicted a free man, I became Australian. I'm the daughter of a digger. I saw the mother love. Girl became a woman down a long and dusty road. I'm a settler, I'm a pushy.
Did you leave me a message, Carl?
I'm a pushy, I'm a bad man.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh,
because on the other side, behind the horses, the pro-Palestinians and all the other protesters.
We'll share a drink.
Yeah, so they keep trying to keep everybody separated. Do we really need to film much longer? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I'm a teller of stories, I'm a singer of songs.
Yeah.
I'm Elvis manager, and I paint the ghostly gun. I plant on his home.
No, I don't know. The Palestinians were there when I got into Melbourne, and I sent you the picture. So there was a rally down there as well, but I think they might have moved up here now.
I'm the hot wind in the desert. I'm the black soil in the plain. I'm the mountain and the valley.
Oh, okay.
I am the rock. I am the sun. The love and the run. The spirit of this great man. I am Australian. We are one. We are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are Australia. We are one. We are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are Australia.
Ain't that the truth? We are Australian. Tony, that's our pictures watching what's going on in Melbourne at the moment, and I don't think there's going to be too much more happening there. The police barricading off that's Spring Street, I think. If it's no, hang on, no, it won't be Spring Street. That will be Burke Street potentially, and they're trying to keep the Palestinian march away, by the sounds of it, from the other end of town, coming up from Flinders Street. So, as Craig Cole did mention, and somebody put up there before, Craig mentioned there was only two ways in or out from what they're doing at Parliament House, and luckily people were able to find it. Great crowd, by the way. A lot of people still in the Parklands, Treasury Gardens out the back there, in milling around and enjoying themselves. And, of course, in Hyde Park in Sydney, there is still a ton of people who are wandering around in the park area there. some minor disruptions in Melbourne and in Sydney, but they were so minor that in Melbourne, at least, I couldn't tell you what they were about. In Sydney, the disruption, or there were two that I saw at least, disruptions that put off the speakers, well, put off the first speaker at any rate. A lady who was speaking about her experience helping to fund for raids on areas in the Philippines where those raids saved 90 children. She was talking about the corruption involved in child trafficking. And I don't know who decided to fire up something, or have a fight or a whatever. There was something happened off stage, nothing terribly dramatic. It was over and done within seconds, and well contained. And then there was another bit of a rowdy. I have no idea what was being yelled out. People with better ears than me might do better, but to understand it. But there was something yelled out while Cass was speaking, and well, if it was yelled out while she was speaking, I gather I'm pretty sure I know who that came. Well, what area that came from, and it comes from a basic lack of understanding. So sad, but a lot of what's happened in the lead up to this week came from a lack of understanding, and I'm glad to see that some of that finally got broken through, and Guru was able to appear and have a bit of a chat. Now, he is in Sydney talking with Chris Goveries at the moment. If I can make him sound like he's talking, hang on.
I'll bleep that one out. All good.
But I think it's quite ridiculous.
So
Chris.
you were stopped because of a complaint that someone made that you had made a salute?
Yeah, that while I was on stage, I'd made a Nazi salute.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway.
But you weren't handcuffed or what have you? Just
No. They just wanted to check out some film and make sure that what I said was, which I said straight away, I was praising the Lord, you know. And as I just left their conversation, I said, praise God.
Can I say they seemed at least polite about it?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were okay. But I think it's still a bit ridiculous. This is the overreach that we're seeing from our government, guys. You know?
But that's the laws. We've got federal laws about it now, I believe, as well. Not just state. We have federal laws about this in some way.
Yeah.
So,
and they're going to even push it harder, guys, because they like, you know, that's what they're going to. We've seen it. They've gone off the sovereign citizen. They're now going on to the Nazi. You know, so we ride the storm, man. All right, we're like I said up there, we're going to ride a wave, guys. And you don't know where it's going yet. But I tell you what, it's going to be a big wave, and it's going to be a really good wave, and we're going to ride it all the way. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, chat. See you, Guru.
Bye.
See you, Dave.
There you go. That is Guru doing his thing, and Chris doing a marvellous job out of Sydney. So I'll have to turn that down over here. I'm hopeful that you were able to hear Guru there clearly. Yes, so hang on, I don't know what the hell we're talking about in here now. Shit and blood everywhere. That hasn't happened, I don't think, in Sydney or Melbourne, and I'm pretty confident Adelaide is going off without a hitch. Although, once again, the person I was hoping would be sending me some pictures from there has been unable to connect for whatever reason. I'm wondering whether or not there isn't a conspiracy theory here in the development. A lot of phones don't seem to be working, or maybe they just don't want to work talking to me. I don't know. You are so on the money. Ned Kelly's story. Now, there is some truth for Australia to actually learn to understand. Yeah. So I've had some text messages about the Brisbane event, and in fact, I got a text message, if I can find the phone. I will read it to you. This was while we were listening to speeches in Sydney, I think. Somebody I know at the Brisbane rally said, just sent this, Tricky just divided the crowd. And I've sent 3 texts back asking what, how, and why, and there's nothing. So Keith will be heading home, I dare say, just like you did, Gavin, by the sounds of it. I'm interested to learn how he managed to do that. But I'm not at all surprised that he did. Yes, prayers for Guru, of course. His thing on his jaw, while it looks to have gone down a bit, Guru does look like he's feeling the effects of maybe some of the medications that he's on. I think he's still doing all natural stuff, and I know he's got an X39 patches that he's been using or has used in the past, but we shall see. Okay. Tricky told us how his storage container got ripped off twice, then asked for money. Well, there you go. There was an agreement, I'm led to believe, between all of the organisers with the world organising body. That agreement was to not sell merchandise, not try and make money out of the event, not ask for donations or anything else. Now, that would be a breach of that agreement that he had with the world organising body of this event, bearing in mind that in Melbourne, the biggest media people, and I think they put themselves up alongside Monica and Topher Field as, you know, the people to go to, the alt media service. I don't think either of them was out today in Melbourne, or any of them, or any four of them. I know two of them are actually in London. Avi and Rukshan are in London interviewing Tommy Robinson before what will be their September 13 event. So anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, if we don't laugh, we go mad, don't we? That's just how it is. Please let the public know the truth. Get yourself checked. Thank you, Carl. I'm just trying to scroll back what we've got to get checked for. Shit and blood everywhere. Right. Right, if I read them in order, it works a bit better, doesn't it? Sorry about that. I'm reading backwards. So, yes, go and get yourself checked. In fact, I went to a doctor a little while back. They handed me a bowel test. I've got to go and do that. So I haven't done one before either. So, yes, go and get your bowel test done if you haven't done it. It's a very important thing. We can flick back to Sydney. This looks like Mary Jane heading out from the protest area. I wonder what she's got to say.
3 barristers and a whole legal firm. I contacted all of the 3 barristers, and they said they were too busy to help. I did ask if they did direct, you have to go through a solicitor and so on. But I also contacted the March for Humanity solicitors. They didn't respond at all. And then I spoke to 3 other solicitors, not lawyers, who they couldn't give me advice because they weren't engaged, but they did assist me to understand the 16-page affidavit that the police commissioner had put in.
16-page?
Yes. And the ramifications to me personally, if I were to go ahead. Now, I didn't want to go ahead personally at all, but I know everybody wanted to do that. So it was a very, very tough decision, but in the end, it was my name, my decision. So I withdrew it.
Can government employees represent protests? Do you think that's okay? Because you've been attacked because you in the past worked for a government department. Do you think that's it? That no government employee can ever represent a protest movement, can't do anything political again?
Oh, I don't think was that part of it. I'm sorry, I don't know if because I used to work for Foreign Affairs and Trade in the federal government, whether that had any implication on what I was doing here. Sorry, you just fried my brain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't think that had any bearing on it at all. Do I think, however, going forward, if you work for a government department, that you would feel fearful of losing your job if you attended a process? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, well, of course.
Okay.
It's that people who previously worked for the government seem to be being attacked because they worked for the government in the past. And they weren't going back how long?
So I'm not attacked for working for the government by the authorities here. I'm attacked from people who call themselves like-minded. Now, what happened after the Supreme Court, because that was my focus, I was not stressed after that at all, but I was personally attacked by Simeon Boykov, also known as the Aussie Cossack, who put out a video threatening me personally, saying that, anyway, I'm not going to give it energy. I also had information through direct channels. There are people that I trusted and knew, and they'd been speaking to him, and we had plans because John Wilson, the Freedom Union person who
Comrade John,
Comrade John, as he's known affectionately, was here this morning kicking up a racket. He had also put in a Form 1 a week or so after we had put in a Form 1 on behalf of the Aussie Cossack, I understand, and was demanding that we give him equal airtime. Now, it's like, this is not your protest. You go do your own thing. That's fine. We don't have a problem with that at all. They were presenting themselves to the police as being the same, and I'm sorry, if I am threatened personally, and 3 years ago after our November 2021 event, Michael Sims received a telephone death threat from the Aussie Cossack. Yeah. And not just him, but there were, I think you were involved in that as well, weren't you? You received a threatening phone call from Cossack. Anyway, yes, and you, yep. And so we will basically, we will not give them energy. We will not give them, we're just like, we've got nothing to do with us. We are, thank you so much. Thank you.
No, I wanted to say, when we went to the misinformation rally, it was so disturbing that Commie John had his own platform, and there was another platform that was run by the Libertarians and a whole bunch of speakers, Joel Jamal and all that. And I found it was terribly disturbing that lot were trying to over-talk and overtake the whole day, and it just diminishes the whole thing, doesn't it?
Which was 90% really good people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, look, and the bottom line in my case was that if people threaten me personally, of course I'm not going to have anything to do with you. I'm sorry, in whose universe do you think that I'm going to work with you in any way, shape or form? So it was a no-brainer for me. I made it very clear to the police, because we have to liaise with the police a lot about the organisation. I mean, they have blocked off 2 roads for us. That wasn't our request. We were going to do it here, and the police's organisational team's preference was to do it there. And I made it very clear that anybody presenting themselves as like-minded to me, that they can say what they like. But as far as I was concerned, the personal threats, they are a counter-protest. And that was what I registered in police. There's always counter-protests. And I actually said to them, they tried to put us together. I said, it would be like you asking me to accommodate the Nazis, the NSN. I will not, have a bar of it.
Would Commo John and associates be welcome in the audience of your event?
Well, they were. Yeah, they're absolutely
Great.
And what I said to the police is like they can come along like anybody else. We have a professional event because we know you guys are coming along. We have people fly in from South Australia for this event. We want to run a very interesting, informative, varied presentation. We want a route that people can walk. I mean, I wasn't going to walk 2 kilometres because I've got a sore knee, but I did. The 5 kilometres from the bridge I could not have done that. But so we said, look, people come along. It's a free country. What we were not prepared to do because we curate the stage, and I said we don't have an open mic. That's not how we do it.
Yeah.
We're not saying if you want to run it, you can run it however you like.
I think your formats run well through the freedom marches and today.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of experience. There was a lot of what I would actually label defamation, and I have consulted I've got a company, I'm business partners actually with the company that sponsored this, Freedom Financial Solutions, FFS.
Yeah, so, on the website.
Tell us about that. Let's pivot there.
Okay, so I ran a lot of rallies from the 2020s through 2022, then retired again for the time. Cass, the accountant.
Can we just start with give us a pitch for what Freedom Financial Solutions is?
We empower men and women to take direct control over their hard-earned financial energy. So we're accountants.
Accountants?
No, I'm not an accountant, but I help people set up self-managed super funds. A self-managed super fund is a legal trust that you can then take your digits on a screen from our big super and put it into a bank account that only you as the trustee control and invest it the way you like. And a lot of our clients are fans of gold and silver, and they've been doing this since I joined CAS in 2022, and they have done really well. Now, we don't make any financial recommendations at all. We don't say you should invest in this, you should invest in that at all. Clients come to us because, number one, we look after them. They know us. We're like-minded. They can speak freely. They're not going to be looked down on. Not all accountants will say, or will listen to people when they're talking about their concerns. Solutions. So I'm the managing director of the SMSF setup division. So I basically all day, every day, talk to people on the phone for half an hour. Well, I don't talk. They talk to me, ask me about how it might work for them. It doesn't work for everybody because you need a certain amount of money to make it cost effective. And I say, well, if you have this, it's cost effective. If you do this, it's not. But there are strategies.
Who is your target customer? Like, who is watching right now that might have them click, I need that? What type of customer are you looking for?
Yeah, sure. So men and women who are concerned about a stock market crash, because if your super is in big super, I'm not going to name a name. It's if you're,
I think Chris is talking about
someone who's like 45 years old, 55 years old.
Demographic.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm describing, the demographic. Somebody who has $200,000 or more in superannuation. However, if you have less, you can have up to 6 members in it and you can combine it. So that's fine. Okay. So, but the demographic is the people who are thinking they want direct control over their super. They don't trust banks. They don't trust big super. They want to take direct control over their super. We
have a director's ID.
A director's identification number is what we recommend. There's been a lot of confusion about the digital ID and the director's identification number. Director's identification number is just a number like your driver's license. You do not need a digital ID to get it. You can get it on the phone without any digital ID.
So if I wanted to say change my company, Red Valley Black, over to a trust and embed my wife's and my super, come and talk to you.
So you wouldn't do your company, Red Belly Black. You would just have your and your wife's superannuation, and we set it up the legal structure, register it with everywhere it has to be registered, get a bank account, and then request the transfer from where you are now into your bank account, and then you go, right, what are we going to invest it in?
So
gold, silver, property, that sort of thing.
So this is a parallel economy. You are taking it into a parallel economy where large super funds are failed, and you're saying, hey, freedom group, freedom community, whatever you want to call it.
Well, it is, but we didn't invent it. It's been used by the top end of town for decades. It came in around 1994. Typically, you would go to an accountant and they go, oh, you don't want to do that because it costs you money. Well, big super costs you money too.
Fees are shocking. Do you guys do the auditing and the tax returns on them as well?
We do the tax returns, we do the administration. The audit is done independently, but we have a team of auditors because we've got hundreds of clients. We have a team of auditors who are familiar with gold and silver. I just wrote a book in July along with Cass and another expert called Gold and Silver in Your SMSF Ownership Must Knows. It's a unique book in Australia. Oh, I was going to have a free discount code. Anyway, go to our website, freedomffs.com.au. The discount code, 100% free download, because otherwise it costs you $9.95, is SMSF Gold FFS. Anyway, email me. It's fine.
And is this your
And-
email there, darling? What's your name?
Oh, no, that's Millions March. That's Michael Sims. I do operate under Millions March when I do rallies, but I've now retired from that. But Freedom Financial Solutions FFS.
And your name?
Anything else?
Mary Jane Liddycoat. Anyway, anything else? Look, thanks to everybody who came along today. It was absolutely amazing. How many people do you think we had?
That's what I was going to say.
5,000. Okay, and that was a great crowd, great turnout. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you for coming, Chris. Always a pleasure talking. Thank you.
Bye.
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 We'll get you on the stage next time.
MJ is out of the house. Sorry for the audio issues, folks. I'm struggling here a little bit because I've got multiple screens up showing multiple different things, and the audio feed for Mary Jane was coming through a monitor on hers, but not through the monitor I probably should have been listening to, so I apologize for that. And that probably happened with Guru's little end chat as well. Interestingly, the bit you didn't hear Mary Jane talking about was another piece against David Graham. Something has happened after his speech today, which was a good speech, I thought. Just 1 minute. Knock something over. Can't do that. I thought he was a great speech, but somebody reported him for making a Nazi salute or something stupid. Of course, he didn't do anything like that, and somebody's just trying to make trouble for him, and I don't know who would want to do that, but it didn't work. It's just a minor ruffle, and you can obviously see it didn't worry Dave too much, and it certainly didn't worry Mary Jane or the other organisers there too much. I can see Mick Sims is having a chat with Chris at the moment, so I think a reasonable event. 5,000 people in Sydney. I think Melbourne has done a lot better than that. I'm just having a bit of a look at the feed coming out of Melbourne at the moment. I'm looking at empty footpaths, so a lot of people, I think, have made their way home. We can bring that up and just have a quick look. Yeah, I think a lot of people have made their way home, or you're in no man's land there between the police and opposing groups. But by the look of it, looks like Melbourne's wrapping up too. Once again, still no news out of South Australia and or Perth, but I'll try and see what I can find, and we'll restart if that is what it's going to be. Don't forget to like the channel, folks. Maybe you haven't seen us before. The Voice of Freedom. This channel that you're watching may not be our main channel. Our main channel is on YouTube, and you can find it youtube.com/VOF. And please like and subscribe. We could do with that. I will tell you that it has been interesting, the news coming out of John's attempt to set up a barbecue and stage and whatnot today in Sydney. That all came to an end very quickly around 10 o'clock this morning, or around 10:30, when I think they finally agreed that they weren't going to be allowed in, but it started at midnight last night and it's kept going. So yeah, not allowed, and the disruption obviously did not go down terribly well with a number of people in Sydney who thought what they were trying to do was disruptive. I'm glad Dave Graham got up on the stage and was able to say a few words. I think that was great. All right, folks, going to let you get back to your Saturday afternoon. Thank you to everybody who turned up at a parade, and I'll find out a bit more about what happens in Brisbane. Tricky has obviously said or done something there that has upset a lot of people, because whatever crowd turned up, which was substantially smaller than last time a couple of weeks ago, he lost a lot of them with something he said. So we'll wait and see what that turns out to be, and learn more about the other events as the weekend progresses. Have a great day. Be safe on the roads, folks.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's ride!